We are
Oh,
excited.
yeah.
Yeah, son. Jay Swank first. How much money you got on Jay Swank?
I'm going to say he's not first. Oh, he's first! First! He is first!
I called it.
Yes, you did. Here we go. D-Double is second.
Second for D-Double.
What?
You could have ruined it, D-Double. You could have just
Yeah.
said first and messed me up. But then I would have called rename because I've been like, nope, you're in the show, you don't have it.
Awesome. Now I'm excited because Jay Swank was first. Step up with the third. Jamie knows Volteezy is the fourth.
Oh, come on, friends.
What is up, everybody? Oh, wow. Jeff, you're able to put the dynamic follow buttons for 2 people? I didn't even know that was possible.
Wait, what did you say?
I think, or somebody was able to put 2 dynamic follow buttons on the Talk From Home screen.
Ooh.
You're trying to win some sneakers? Cybernuke, what up?
Okay, yo, what up?
Hold your breath.
Hold it.
All right.
Drop.
All right, we got about 20 people in here. We're going to get started in about 45 seconds.
45 seconds.
45 seconds.
Huge shout out to DJ Elusive for this Talk From Home intro. So D-Double, if you want this edit, talk to DJ Elusive. This is the Talk From Home intro theme song.
Elusive also does the flyer logo, so, which we should throw on here. I don't know why we have the old one.
Is this the old logo?
Yeah, that's the old logo.
Oh. Well, yeah, this is old. I guess
This is old. This is episode 1 logo, man.
We've been using this since episode 1, yeah.
Episode 1 logo. S Blade, what's up?
Alright, y'all ready to do this? Let's go.
Hell yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 19 of Talk From Home. I got no fingers to make Well, you could do like, I don't know. I usually...
Oh, here, you do your 10. You do your 10.
Okay, I'll do 10. That's 10.
There you go. Here's 19 right here.
19, and then Raph is just extra 9.
Yeah.
Episode 19 of Talk From Home. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is a weekly podcast where we bring you members from the Dance From Home community, hang out with them, sit down with them, have some drinks, have some laughs, chop it up, give you an opportunity to get to know them better. And tonight we have some awesome guests that we're excited for. But before we do that, we'll introduce the host tonight. I'm one of your hosts. I am an F45 DJ, an X-Fade DJ. I am 50% of Taco Dog, one half of Retro Lasers Pew Pew Pew. Sometimes I go by the name of Commander Maria Hill. I'm your homie Mike Rocca. And with me today, our other host, he is partial owner of Remix Entertainment. He is an F45 DJ. Sometimes he goes by the name of Charles. Sometimes he goes by the name of Artie. Sometimes he goes by the name of Mr. Shake. This is our homie himself, Cat. What's up?
What up? How you doing, Dance From Home fam? I cannot wait. This is the last Talk From Home episode of 2020, and we're going to go out with a bang. Pause.
Super excited. Pause. And also the face of Cook From Home, which is a channel where she cooks recipes, talks to her peeps in the chat, gets like suggestions on maybe what she should do with the recipe. She's also had some cook-offs with other guests in her show, so make sure you guys tune in to Cook From Home, which is under This Is Raph. She is the other half of Hey, I'm Riff, our homie. This is Raph, also known as Sam. What's up?
Hi, guys. And I just want to give a shout out. It's my nephew's birthday. He is 4.
Whoop, whoop.
It's Snickers. Right.
Snickers,
Whoop, whoop.
happy birthday, Snickers!
Snickers.
So yes, Jace Wink, that is not a
random.
it's not a random pup.
No, this is Snickers, my nephew. So I shall be bringing him up
Random.
Hey, and also it looks like we just got a couple raids. Huge shout out to DJ Zell. That's HoyLuckClub right
with the
there.
Raid. Thank you.
And also another raid from the man, the Vernimal.
Yeah. Congrats on your affiliate.
Yeah, congrats on affiliate.
Yes, congrats, Vernimal.
We're excited to have you on DFH soon. We haven't had him on DFH yet.
Not yet. And we are at a 94% level 1 hype train. Let's go.
Nice. Thank you for the hype train. We do have to introduce, though, we have a special guest host for the evening. Could you guys maybe guess who it is? It's a surprise. We have a guest host.
Jay Bray.
No. It'd be cool, but he's a little cooler than Jay Bray in my book.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, let's give you some hints. So, he is partial owner of X-Fade Entertainment. He may have started Dance From Home in the beginning, brought it to everybody. He is sometimes known as Coco Mobby, sometimes known as the director himself. We want to bring in our homie, Jeff Mobby. What's up?
What's up, DJ? Every week,
such a surprise.
Our intros seem to get longer because of so many AKAs.
Pause.
Yeah, there's AKA. They get longer.
How many nicknames do we have now because of this?
Special guest.
So many nicknames. It just keeps growing. Actually, I feel like Sam doesn't get a lot more. It just keeps growing. Sam doesn't get a lot more nicknames than everybody else. We need to start giving Sam nicknames.
I'm okay.
No, we'll work on that.
We're gonna get some. We're gonna get
everybody
some.
in the chat.
That's gonna be our New Year's resolution. We're gonna get some more nicknames.
More
for
nicknames.
This Is Rap.
Hey.
All right, so I don't want to take too much more time because we might be here all night. Like, this is one of those episodes where we have a couple guests that are absolutely amazing with a long background of a lot of things. So I want to give us an opportunity to get to all of those things. First off, our first guest, he's been in the music industry for 20 years. He's currently a variety streamer. His stream is on for Twitch called VolteezyKnows. He has been in groups such as Major League, Dean's List, Propaganda Movement, Dynasty Entertainment, 606 Entertainment, and currently part of HoyLuckClub. He is Captain Nardine, aka Werther's Original, our homie VolteezyKnows. Voltaire, what is up? Show the flyer. Show the flyer.
Look at that. It looks
Flyer
just like
up.
this.
Wow.
Boom.
Look at that. Oh, there he is. What?
It's like we're in the photo shoot.
Yeah.
Voltaire, what up?
Hola.
How you living tonight? Werther's Original voice.
I'm apparently living with this damn sport coat on. It's hot. It's hot.
Hey, you're the one that wanted to match the flyer.
You're right. You're right. I said it. I said, look, I saw the flyer. Disclaimer: D Double's idea, not mine. I saw the flyer, and you set the bar very high. You put
Here's the
me
flyer
on
again, guys.
a much more svelte body of Mr. J. Bray.
Yeah,
That's not Jay Bray's body, is it?
You could have been
That's your
on
body.
the other body.
Because I've seen D Double's legs, and those are very familiar.
That's true. That was
They're
spot
uncanny.
on. When I saw the legs, I said that is D Double.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're so smooth.
So I thought it would be fitting if I wore my work clothes, which I haven't worn for 8 months. So
Same.
yes.
I have never worn this sweater.
Wow.
Ever?
Ever? This is
your
the
first
debut.
This is the
This is
debut.
Nice.
Debut.
It feels special.
It's like a
Don't
retake
wear-
of a LinkedIn picture.
We just got another
nice.
raid, I think.
Shall we?
Oh yeah, we did.
Another
Jimbo in Stockholm just
Jimbo
gave us
Stockholm.
another raid.
Hello, mates. Thank you for the raid.
Appreciate you guys.
Jimbo Alvin.
We do have
What
another
up?
guest this evening. Before we forget about him, he can't be forgotten. He's been DJing for 35 years. He
it?
reps Chicago. I know, right? When I read that, I was
You're
like,
older than me.
bruh, come on, you lying. He's been DJing for 350 years. He reps
Yes.
Chicago, LA, Las Vegas. He's part of Death Hall DJs, Violator All-Star DJs, DP Sounds, part of the HoyLuckClub. He's Jay Swank's father, and all roads lead to this man, our homie, the God, D Double. What's up?
D Double. What up,
Closer.
brother?
I feel like
So
I need to be
fine.
closer. So excuse me. There we go. You forgot Sumeria, Mike. He represents Sumeria also,
Samaria.
and the Phoenicians.
I got that. It wasn't in the prep list.
And Papyrus. You forgot about Papyrus.
Papyrus.
Correct.
And Julius Caesar's group.
Uh-huh.
I can't think of that group. Dang.
I
He
forgot.
did the
that.
after set
I
after
did
they
the party.
assassinated him.
I don't remember. I just did the party though.
Yeah, him and Brutus are tight.
So what's up?
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. You got the Truly tonight. Cheers. Cheers to everybody in the chat. Cheers to you guys.
Cheers.
Thank you
Salute
for
to you
joining us
all.
tonight.
Cheers.
Looking forward to a good night.
Thank you for having us, guys.
Yeah. So let's just start off, man. Let's take it from the beginning.
Roman
Back
Senate.
when like you DJ'd the birth of Christ.
Last Supper. Last Supper.
Let's go
I
back
did
to
the
that.
Supper. I started at the
Yeah, the Last Supper. Yeah, let's start there. How did you get to the Last Supper? What started you out?
Oh God! But for real though, no, I just started. I got into high school. I had friends that were all DJs, so I would sit and watch them DJ. I couldn't go to parties then because I was too young, and I just never went out. I watched them at the house. They were called Free Enterprise. It was Aaron Marcig and Tony Santos. It was Dania Chanzar. It was Neil Magahis. First four guys I ever sat and watched them. All I did was watch them. That's all I did, and I learned. I mean, I was always musical, so I just kept up and watched them and did all that. And they would invite me to parties. I'd never show up because I couldn't. I was too young.
Yeah.
So, and that was it basically until about college. And I just kept practicing and doing whatever. Never had any equipment, so I would only practice when I went to their house. And yeah, that was basically it.
What was the equipment then? Was it turntables?
It was two turntables, yeah, two 12s, and the Gemini, the long Gemini with the 4 channels, 4, maybe even 6.
Yeah, we have many pictures of those over
with the clickers. It's got the line-ins, and that's the only thing I could ever scratch on is with a line-in, because that's how I learned. I don't know how to use the fader. I only transform.
Oh, really?
Yes, I remember that.
You don't use the fader.
I can't. I don't know how.
Okay.
I kind of know how to teach people how to do it. I just can't. But I can.
Wow,
I could.
I
click
now
all day
remember
long.
that. Right when you said that, I totally remember that.
Yeah, and I learned all that. Like I learned all that from them. I have different mentors here and there. Definitely one of my other mentors out there is Wing Paez. He's out there right now. He's in the chat room one time. That's the brother Wing. PDX. That's him.
Before we move on, Raph, do you want to explain the difference between line faders and the
we just
She knew.
She's like,
she knew, so she's like, I'm out.
She's like, oh, let me go tell you, and then she drops.
Yeah,
like,
for
and
the
then
non DJs in the room, the line fader.
She'll be back on. She'll be like, yeah, and that's it. See?
Yeah. See? I just explained it. Yeah, she's gone. The line fader is the fader that controls a line fader controls one channel up and down. Then there's a fader in the middle that mixes between two different channels. Usually people scratch with the fader in the middle that goes between the two channels. The double scratches with one fader that is.
It was a toggle switch.
It's not
even a fader. It's a literal thing that like.
That click.
Is it the switch from line?
How's it go? It's like
like this, up and down, not sideways, up and down.
Oh yeah.
This way. So whenever I would scratch, I go That's my scratch. That's it.
He was embellishing. It wasn't that fast.
It was because we were DJing to hip house, bro. So yeah.
No, it was. It was.
Yeah, when did you start DJing? What kind of music?
Just like this.
Me?
Yeah, what kind of music was first?
What kind was the first music I was playing was house music. Chicago house music, hip house definitely. After a few years, it went into hip hop around 1986-ish, 85, 86, baby. Started doing hip hop.
You've got a saying that I've heard from you for years that's all roads lead to house, right?
Yeah.
Explain that to some people that may not.
Well, the way I think about it, the way I conceptualize all roads lead to house is that everything has a basis of Chicago house music in it. Like no matter what it is, no matter if it's hip hop, no matter if it's EDM, no matter whatever, there's a basis, there's a sound, there's a tone of Chicago house music to it. And my many years of playing or learning how to play on house, I learned how to match beats. I learned how to use my ears to house music. But what I continued on with that was I went into hip hop, learning those concepts. So I learned how to blend, how to match beats, how to do everything house-wise, and bring it over to hip hop, and then do the same there, and then take up all the things you do with hip hop and blend them together. Then you all lead back in the house. That was always my sets back home in Chicago. I'm gonna start with hip hop, but I'm gonna end up at house at the end of the night. Like, you're gonna end up with house music with me. So all roads lead to house all the time.
no
All
doubt.
the new songs coming out right now is all Chicago house music samples. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all Chicago.
Some
Yeah.
hoes in this house.
That's right. That's correct.
Big ups to Rap on the outfit change, by the way.
Oh, did you change it? My
Yeah,
God.
she did a wardrobe.
I wanted to wear also a jacket like
Business cash.
like Volt.
Let's go. Yes.
Stop.
The best reaction is when we put her on full
I
screen.
hate it.
The best. All
It
right,
will
so
change every 30 minutes, guys.
Dave, you're learning. You can't go to the parties because you're too young, but you're still there learning. You're still doing your thing, learning on house,
Yep.
and then you moved over to some hip house and some hip hop, right?
Yep.
Keep us going. Where are we going from there?
From there, basically, I just started. It's not even college yet. So I get into college, and I am like 16 in college, UIC, and all of a sudden, my parents decide to give me freedom. And they're like, "You can go out now. You can go kick it." So I was like, "Oh, word!" So I'm out. Like, I'm out with my crew. My crew is X-Men. I'm out with the X-Men. I'm out bombing. I'm out graffitiing. I'm doing everything that I could never do in high school. I was doing everything. Started following finally the DJs I learned from. Again, one of them being Ween, and other DJs, and carrying their records, going to parties and doing it. All of a sudden, people are reaching out to me like, "Hey, you DJ too? Why don't you start spinning?" Sure, okay. So college was when I started doing all these parties, and I think y'all had Vince and Virgil up. Like, my first few parties were things like our Valentine's parties, the colleges, when all the college Filipino clubs would all get together and do one big party. Those were the first few things that I would be doing, alongside, of course, all the little cotillions, all the little parties in the suburbs, Wooddale, Glendale, Everydale, all that.
All the dales,
all
the
those parties,
woods.
all the woods.
the
that's
woods
right.
and the dales. Right?
Yeah, so that's
parks.
where, and then that's when it turned into dancing as well. I became a DJ and had a whole crew dancing, and that was it. Yeah, and like we said, right there, I hit the college scene and went nuts. I became DJ Dave DeMano. That's who I became at that point. So not Dave Diamond, Dave DeMano.
Okay. That's facts, though. Dave Diamond's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts. I gotta find that flyer. John
Yeah,
Santos. has the flyer, by the way.
somebody has it. Somebody has the flyer, bro.
Diamond.
It's out there. It's out
So
there.
Voltaire, D doubles in college, and you're like not born for 10 more years.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I was still a dirty thought.
Yeah, you were just like, I think your parents weren't even born yet.
It wasn't even a thought. It wasn't even a thought
Yeah.
yet.
I was a fantasy at best. No, I think 85 you said you started, Dave, right? 85,
84.
86?
I started 84.
84, right? So Zero pointed out the NES system came out. The Bears won the Super Bowl.
Internet wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah, and I
Definitely not.
I recorded the Super Bowl on my Betamax.
Yeah, wireless
85.
phones were not a thing at all. Yeah.
I wasn't a thing yet.
I was not
MTV
here
had
yet.
started coming around.
Yeah, I probably don't insert into the story for another decade. So
Yeah, not
Yeah.
until later.
keep going with Dave. Dave's got to, you got to
More time.
unroll the fucking, you got to unroll the scroll and shit and just keep talking. So,
The scroll.
But I want to talk about how you got into music though. Before we keep
Do it
going on with Dave.
slowly.
You're talking about me.
know.
How I
I want to know
got
how.
into it? Or?
Well, I want to know how Voltaire got into music.
Oh,
wanna
yeah.
know. I want to know how
so
that happened.
I'm originally from here, born and bred, Chicago, North Side, and I moved to California, 1988. So when Dave was doing
In high
his thing,
school, I
when he was
graduated.
going in college. Like
Yes.
I went to Whitney Young for 7th grade, and after
Oh, Whitney Young.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. I was taking a bus, 45-minute bus ride from the north side to Whitney. And then I moved to California. My mom was she's a real estate agent, so she made a ton of money. Like the real estate market in the 80s were in California was crazy. So she was making all this money, man. So she moved the whole family. She just uprooted us in our little bungalow in the north side, and we went to Southern California, and it was just night and day. The culture.
What part of the north side were you on?
Devon, California.
Oh,
So,
wow, yeah, that's my old hood too. Yeah,
Yeah,
I used to live in
right.
Albany.
Right on Fairfield, like right off Rosemont and Fairfield. That's where I was. So you can imagine the culture. So Mike, the culture of the neighborhoods in the 80s is, everybody would play tag football in the church parking lot.
Yeah,
Right. And it was like, you didn't care if you were Assyrian or Korean or Filipino. It was just neighborhood kids. You'd all go out there.
There was a stat on that that I read like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, that area specifically, that Albany Park area and all that around there, that radius, I think it was like a 2-mile radius or something, in the whole world was the most diverse area in the world for a certain amount of time. And I can see, right? Like you can see that. Yep. It's Koreans, it's Indians, it's Filipinos, white people, Hispanics.
Jewish.
Eight Greek guys named Tasso. That was like, they all had the same name. It was like Fat Tasso, Skinny Tasso.
Tall Tasso.
Every Easter, the whole neighborhood smelled like lamb. It was just like, so moving to California in '88, imagine a culture shock. So I left a neighborhood which was very diverse, right? Didn't know anything about groups and segregation and cliques and like Filipinos being Filipino, right? I was not that Filipino. So we moved to Cali. I go to school, 8th grade. 3rd day, I got jumped by a Filipino gang.
A Filipino gang?
Yeah, because they were on some shit. Like I was hanging out with a bunch of like surfer guys. So they were like talking to me in Tagalog. They were talking shit to me. And I could speak Tagalog, so I understood what they were saying, but I didn't get it. I was like, what the fuck? So anyways, sorry. I don't know if are we PG-13 or
no,
what?
this is not PG.
All right.
Live your life.
We're good.
Fuck that.
Be you.
But yeah, I mean it's and so it was a culture shock for me because musically, so here's where the tie-in is. Coming from Chicago, hanging out with a bunch of like Korean guys at school, they were all new wave heads, right? So Erasure, New Order, OMD, like, and they had the little flop hair.
I was gonna say all the Korean dudes then had
the round frame glasses, right? The John Lennon joints, right? So that's what I was listening to because I was hanging out with these guys, right? So new wave. And when I moved to Cali in 8th grade, wasn't nobody listening to new wave. They were not listening to new wave. It was either you listen to hip hop, like NWA, like gangster rap, or you were listening to like a station out there called K-Rock, which was all like alternative at that time. So that's when I ended up making the pivot because I got sort of peer pressured into hanging out with Filipinos, which was because of that gang. They jumped me. I ended up.
Wait, they jumped you and then you joined them?
No, I joined another group.
A different group.
That took advantage of that. They took advantage of the fact that gangs in the 80s in California, they would actively recruit people. It was on some different shit. It was like they would literally buy you shit. It was weird. They'd have you hang out. They'd get you liquor, and you're in 8th grade, and they would buy you 40s, and then they would jump you into their gang. Like that's how that sort of worked. They
so did they offer you kind of like protection? Like they were like, hey man, you hang out with us, they're not gonna mess with you.
Exactly.
Like, come chill with us. Yeah.
That's how they started the recruitment, I guess. Right? It's like, oh, these guys are fucking with you. We got your back. But really, we got your back because we want you to end up joining or whatever, right? So that's how I got into like hip hop. That introduction of music. That was the change from new wave, to, like sort of house to hip hop.
And that was gangster rap then too, though.
Yep.
I mean, in the '90s, you were listening to anything gangster rap and all that coming out, right?
Chronic came out and it was over.
Yeah. I mean, you and I it's pretty much the same age, man. That was it. Like that time, it was Snoop, it was Dre, it was all West Coast everything, and that's all I listened to. Like that was the jams back in the day.
Yeah. So that's how I got into music. That was like my musical sort of introduction. Like once you got into it, then people started trying to be rappers that were around that time, like in high school.
God, who would do that?
I know. Why would anybody want to become a rapper?
Career.
What a horrible choice.
Be a DJ. What the hell?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's pretty proven that 50% of anybody trying to get into music, if you're a rapper, you're just not gonna make it.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because 33% of this
call.
whole group right here,
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
That's exactly the numbers I was getting at.
Bam.
33% of this call wasted some time.
But you know what? To be fair, and I'll speak on the behalf of the 33%. In the time that we were doing music, it wasn't what this time is now, right?
Yeah.
With SoundCloud, with like all the avenues to promote your music, it was burn fucking CDs
Yeah.
and sell them out the trunk.
Yeah,
Or
go outside,
give them
man.
away, right?
Yep.
Give them away, and you can't even sometimes give them away, right, to people, because it's a different era. Now it's like,
Yeah.
you put music out there, and you're one click away from a record deal or getting signed.
And people, that was not cheap. It wasn't cheap. You had and like there wasn't like Photoshop available to everybody those days, and there wasn't like just some like today I can ask somebody to make a flyer for me now and it's done in 10 minutes. Back in the day, if I want like an album cover, I got to go find a dude, pay him some money. Like he's got to press that shit. You got to pay for the CD getting pressed. You got to pay for the covers and all that. It was like $1,000 just to get something out on the street. Yeah, it was crazy. And like exactly what Voltaire's getting at is that like it's not today. If you want to get yourself out there, you put yourself out on social media or something. You tell the people.
Yeah, and the other fact, the underlying fact that we're Filipino.
Yeah.
So if you think about it back then, that's unheard of.
Worse. Yep.
You don't have
knew what it was.
Filipino rappers. It wasn't Filipino rappers, right? Like people
They're still
looked at
not
it-
Filipino rappers technically.
Exactly. Yeah, but the market was different. Now I think it's obviously the game has changed and music is music and people look at it differently. But back then it was you had to fight that.
I think about what you're saying there because I've thought about that too. Like, what if I was today? You know, like trying to make it today in this climate and these things.
Yep.
And I think about it and I'm like, yeah, I think about the same thing you did. All these outlets, all these ways. I'll tell you the truth. I probably still would have found a way to fuck it up. I'd have found a way to mess it up. Like that. Let's be honest. Like it's like I could say I would have done this, I would have done that, but at that time I was still young and stupid too.
Yep.
So I did you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so I think
it's hindsight. We're talking about hindsight. Like we know
Yeah.
it's hindsight.
being older, it's like we get it now. Like, okay, I could have done this and done that, but
Yeah.
it is
For
a
me-
little easier, I would say. Still, I mean, if you were
Yeah.
to compare
Right
it
now,
Is
for
it,
sure.
is it too late?
No.
Never-
Like for you guys,
never-
like
No,
to go
it's not too
back
late.
to try.
look,
The
I'm on
question
I'm on Twitch.
is it what
I'm
we want to do?
44.
Yeah.
Right,
is
right,
it what
right,
you
right.
want now?
Is it what we
Right.
want to do?
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
what we want to
Right.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
But we
I
can
don't wanna
do
go
it.
right.
Sure.
I don't want to go perform in a venue anymore. I want to go DJ
Yeah, no.
in a venue. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just it's a different mentality, right?
I want to
Yeah.
stream on Twitch.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
saying you put out a record now, and then you got 100 DJs ready to go playing it on Twitch.
Exactly.
That's true.
That's
That's
right?
true.
Yeah, right.
You have the network now to.
All around the world.
Easy.
All around the world.
Promotions now is so much easier. It's easy. Back then, when I used to breaking records, I would break records every week. New records would come to me all the time, and it's the hardest thing because nobody wants to hear it. They don't care, right? But I still break the records. But now you can break a record anytime. Why? They're all gonna hear you. They're all gonna listen to you. You have an audience, and it's
Well,
perfect.
let's do that. Let's circle back to that. Let's go back to when you're in college. That's a perfect segue. So right back to college, right?
College.
So it's records still.
This is a
right?
long duration, by the way. He was in college. So go ahead.
Yeah, I mean we're talking about he just got
How long?
out.
Yes, UIC, 7 years. Let's go.
Oh
It's
hey.
not that bad.
That's pretty long, man. I could have been a
Pause.
doctor.
You were having
Pause.
fun. You're having fun. So you're in college. You're spinning. You're doing. You said you were doing like cotillions and stuff, and Valentine's
Parties,
Day
yeah.
parties, and those kind of things.
I'm doing
Like-
Medusas. I'm doing all these different clubs that just are for teenagers and stuff, for under 21. So
How did that transition happen from like doing like Valentine's Day parties to getting into the clubs?
getting into the clubs, people started asking me to come DJ. So these people that started asking me are promoters or soon to be promoters. They're the ones that are still in high school, that are throwing little parties here and there, but they're graduating into being promoters for the 21 and up clubs, like little by little. So here we go. That goes on until about 96, right? So they're starting to throw their own little parties. We show up, they book me, I show up. No, there was no real bookings back then either. It was basically, we'll put you on the flyer, you down, yeah. You show up, you play 15 minutes and see what money you get. Like that's basically what it was pre-96 ish, right? So in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s, that's how it was. So you show up to Hinswood to a party. It's because there's a girl having a birthday party. You show up, you're on the flyer, so you spin your set, and then either you get paid or you don't. So that's basically it. Just do those every week. We used to come from the city. My whole crew would come from the city and go to the burbs. Every Lombard, Glendale. We'll do every party. We'll roam and do every party. But I always have my records with me. So if I know who all the DJs were, which I did, I'll just show up and be like, hey, I got my stuff. Let me do a small set. Yeah, no doubt. Boom. Okay, so I'm playing now. So let's get lucky. Am I getting paid or not? We'll see. Basically, that's how it went for a while. We also started dancing. School of Dills. Shout out School of Dills. Started dancing, battling, doing all that. So you're going to parties for different reasons. You're going to battle. You're going to DJ. It's all the other aspects.
Do we have any video of that or anything?
Probably not. I don't know. Definitely not. If somebody out there does, I love y'all. RJ does.
Do you have one of those fucking real joints? That's probably what you got.
Let's pause really quick. Volteezy, were you able to ship the accordion?
No.
No. I was waiting on Dave to coordinate with me. Like I said, I was ready.
No, the time is coming. Trust and believe. The time will come, guys.
Trust and believe.
It's like fucking Excalibur. Like you can't just willy nilly.
You can't just get that over here.
Right? Like
special, guys.
You have to be chosen.
Yeah, man. I can't even pull out. No pause.
No pause.
No pause.
No pause.
No pause. 2 children. No pause.
Did you play the accordion since you were a kid?
I played since kindergarten.
And then that's amazing.
I played at kindergarten was when I first started, and then I stopped and started teaching maybe my last year of college, so 96, and then I started teaching for about it. Yeah, I started teaching for a year or two, and I couldn't teach because I couldn't teach kids something that came so easily to me and so hard to them. And I'm like, I can't do it. I'm like, this is simple. What is wrong with you? You can't play the keys and basses and do this. Like that was my mentality, my thinking back then. I have no patience. I can't.
I see why it didn't work.
Yeah.
So what is wrong with you?
Look how I taught Voltaire how to DJ. Voltaire, just watch me.
See how he's talking to me like a child.
Oh,
right
you
now.
had the Eris.
Look how I talk.
It's just like you just gotta feel it.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, exactly, and that's how I was taught. Right, the way I was taught was just watch and count. I was like, okay.
Then I was like,
wait. So we need to do it. We need to do what we do every show. So how long from when you put your hands on a deck to
no pause?
How long was it until you were beat matching?
After learning the control of the deck, because the first deck that I beat matched with were Radio Shack decks. I would take one deck, connect it to the radio, listen to BMX, let that play and blend. And all I did was blend. So once I learned that, maybe less than a week.
So right now, we have who was up here? Chris
Cut
was way up here.
Chris Cut's like right about here.
Yeah, like way up here.
I'm where Wildcat is.
Yeah.
I'm where Wildcat is.
And then
Sam is like a little bit lower than that. It's like.
And then there was like Brothers Keeper was around here. D Double makes it like probably right up in this.
Like where Volteezy is.
Yeah, where Volteezy is about where D Double is. And then we had some other.
How long did Chris Cut take?
DJs. No, Chris Cut was doing flares in the first hour.
Word.
So, that's why she's. And then so we have that, and then we had another couple here. Rex was about right here, and then we've got Artie all the way down there, past
under Sam.
By Snickers.
Yeah.
By Snickers.
Way longer.
Under
Snickers.
Snickers.
There. That's it.
Probably on the
floor. So if you want the
where
scale,
you put your sweater, ref, like the other sweater you took off.
I don't put my
on the floor.
Wow.
on the floor. Are you crazy?
Yeah, because with the Radio Shack tables, you have to push it. You got to go along. So had to learn how to control that. You got to control it. Got to learn to use the dial, because the dial was a little circle dial, and that was your pitch control. So you're here, boom, push, and then use the spindle. And hold it.
That was the pitch control. Was the circle?
Was that a belt drive?
No, you have. It was a belt drive.
Jeff?
Oh,
You have the spindle, and then you also have the little up and down, +8, -8, but it's a little dial
Dang.
that you just start moving back and forth. Yeah.
You just
So
go,
mastered it. But I already had counting practice, right? From playing a musical
Accordion.
instrument.
No,
So
Yeah.
I have a
the
solid metronome.
accordion.
I have a solid metronome in my head since day one. So I'm counting fours no matter where I am. Like some will go on 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's it. I'm stuck.
Yeah. So
That's how I taught my daughter. That's how I taught my daughter how to spin. I said, just keep counting fours in your head. Don't
She
forget
knows
it.
how to spin.
She does now.
way to
She's
do it.
starting to do well.
That's dope.
She's doing well now.
Beautiful mind over here.
Yeah.
It's just fucking music. Just
It's all the music.
2,
All
3,
he sees
4.
it all.
Hi, can I get a
Six,
venti? Can I get a venti
7,
chai
8.
latte? 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait, how
Does it-
old's your daughter?
It's the second one, so she's 12.
Oh, she's 12.
Nice.
Yes, Deja, DJ Deja Cat.
That's when I
She's
started.
on Twitch
That's
already?
when I started
Is she on
DJing.
Twitch already?
That's
No.
sick.
She will be.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Are you gonna get her on Twitch?
We'll see when she gets when she grows some. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Grows some.
I'm
Nothing.
gonna turn my cam off
Hair?
for that one. Jeez. Oh.
Cojones.
So yeah, basically that's all we did until about '96, and then we started
Yeah.
getting real in '96.
Okay. What happens to 96?
Dynasty
real.
Entertainment.
Dynasty Entertainment.
Jesus.
Jeez, that's a big one. If you're from Chicago, you know Dynasty Entertainment. I mean,
So
that's
Dynasty.
just. So tell us how that all started. And
So
what you-
Lyle was in another gang, and I was in another gang, and we used to fight each other. But Lyle and I wouldn't fight, and we'd be sitting on the side talking, like, "Why are they fighting? What's going on?" So me and Lyle be talking. He's like, "Man, it's '96. You want to make some money?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." So I became his DJ, and he became the promoter, and we started Dynasty. And Rainier, Virgil, Vince, Voltaire, the list goes on. The whole fam, everybody in the chat. That's all Dynasty. We all came up, and then the rest is history. I am of the world. There you go.
So what was Dynasty doing
Yep.
in the beginning when you said, "All right, let's go make some money"? Like
We were one of the first to hit up real clubs and bring a crowd of Asians, Filipinos, mostly predominantly, and bringing them to a major club. Whether it be we have one floor or whether it be we have the whole club, we promoted and got a majority of Asians to come in under that promotion and start coming to venues. Basically,
I wonder how the club scene, because you guys were the first. You were the first to bring in hundreds of Asians to one club as a promotion night, and I remember seeing all that. I remember all that happening, and it was, I mean, you got to think as like a club owner, like you've never seen anything like this happen. Like you're not used to anything like.
Yeah, that's how other clubs just started going. Man, we want Asians in here.
Yeah.
We want Asians now. So that's how we started getting major clubs, and then we also had connections into industry. So we're bringing industry people to walk through, come in, and associate them with Asians. And basically, we made Asians hip. Like they were like, man, we want to be like those Filipinos right there. They know so and so and blah blah blah. But
we would be remiss if we didn't mention Flawless.
Flawless as well.
I have a different perspective because I originally
Didn't come to Dynasty.
Miggy was the first guy I worked with when I moved back here.
Yeah.
So that was.
So I was Flawless after Voltaire. So I worked with Miggy post you at Buddha Lounge. That's how
After.
Yeah, that was after Voltaire was with like hanging out with Miggy and Flawless Entertainment. But it was Dynasty and then Asian Elements. Like those were the three.
Gary Fabian.
Gary.
The three major Asian promoters. And yeah, I mean Miggy was good peeps, man. He was doing the scene.
Shout out to Gary Fabian and his model pics.
Yeah.
Sorry, he always liked to show the model pics. He was a model back then.
He was a model.
Yeah,
If you've ever asked Gary how he's doing, there was only one answer that he'd give you. Do you know what it is?
What do you say?
Decent. No. Zero knows what's
Zero
up.
called it out.
Zero knows what's up.
Oh man. Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's his answer every time.
What's that?
That's his answer every time.
Decent.
Every time. You just ask him. Ask him now. I'm sure he will give you the same answer.
That's funny, dude. That's hilarious.
Yeah, 90. I
That's
think
so
90s, 96, right? Is that where we're at? 96.
Yeah. What was
Yeah.
Lollapalooza.
Where are you at now?
96. I'm in the military still, so I came back. I moved back to Chicago after I got out, which was like 98,
8. Yeah.
and that's where shout out to Ryan Castelleos. So
Okay.
that was where I became a rapper, like where I was trying to be a rapper, right, back in California. But truth be told, I was part of a group where the other guys were MCs. I was not. I was just the guy that hung out with them and just sort of trying to soak it in. And so I had an opportunity to reinvent myself when I moved back to Chicago. So when I came back to Chicago, I didn't really have a history. Lollapalooza was my first gig, but nobody knew that. Like when they booked me, and so Ryan, right? I don't know how I ended up meeting Ryan Castelleos, but Ryan Castelleos reaches out to me, and then I think we were at a party and we were all fucked up, and I was freestyling. He was like, "Yo, man, you dope, bro." He's like, "Hey, we need an act for Lollapalooza too, because I think there's like a time slot that we need to fill." And he's like, "Would you want to do it?" I had never done a live show. I had never freestyled or performed. I had no songs. Right? I didn't write anything. Like I was just sort of freestyle. That's all I was doing. And I'm like, yes,
I love it.
fuck it, right? I'm like, let's go.
And mind y'all, this is the first I'm hearing of him.
Yeah, we don't know each other yet.
We don't know each other. Actually, we know each other through other people.
Yeah.
We have never officially met, and I know his family, etc. But we've never met. I see him on a flyer. I'm looking at this flyer. I'm like, yo, he's a rapper from Cali. Yo.
Yeah, that was the hype. The hype was I was this rapper. Like just in like my name Voltaire, or like you mean by the rap? No, the rap name was Verse 1.
I remember now. Yeah, Verse 1. Okay.
Verse 1.
Yeah, so that was the old rap, and that was the Lollapalooza flyer, the big long strip flyer. If you guys remember that
army shirt.
Don't. So yeah, so I said yes, not knowing what I was getting myself into, because I had not really understood. Lollapalooza was a big deal. I think there was probably 2,000 people there at the Tropicana Theater. It was one of the biggest. It was New Year's. It was like the year end, sort of like big, big Asian party, and
huge.
Yeah, I ended up. So I was supposed to perform solo, because I wasn't even an established MC yet. So I was hanging out with Jaime.
Yeah.
Jaime Najarro, shout out shortstop, and then Alvin and Arnold Gonzalez. Yeah. And I didn't even know that Jaime rapped. Like we were just hanging out, and then I heard him freestyle one day, and I was like, "Yo, do you want to perform at this gig I got like in 3 weeks?" And he was like, "Sure, fuck it." So we practiced for 3 weeks, right? We actually wrote some verses. It was like this haphazard put together performance. And Arnold, DJ Gonzo, he was our DJ, and he was like, "Yo, you're gonna play like these 3 instrumentals during our show, and we're just gonna rhyme." And so we got up there, and 2,000 people, right? And imagine this is our first ever performance, like 3 weeks of practice, and we fucking killed it.
So
and nice. Yeah, and we had and they were releasing a mixtape. So Miggy, to backtrack, Miggy asked me to record this song at a studio. So I'm gonna tell you the story because it's fucking hilarious. So Miggy, right? He said, bro, hey, come to my dude's house. We're gonna record this. We're gonna record this song. We're gonna put it on the mixtape, right? I was like, all right, cool. So we fucking drive down there. Miggy's there. He shows up, and he's like, "Oh, hey, do you want to smoke first?" I'm like, "Sure," right? And we got absolutely blasted. I didn't know what the hell was going on, and like they put me in this booth, and it's like a closet. And like close the door, and they have like eggshell crates and stuff in there. So I close the door. He plays the beat, and I'm just like, my eyes are closed. Right? For like 2 minutes. The guy's like, "Yo, are you gonna lace your lyrics or what?" I was like,
Oh yeah.
I was just feeling it. So finally, we did it in one take. I didn't even like go back. I just like spit whatever I spit. I get out there, and Arnold, DJ Gonzo's with me, and I remember coming out of the closet, no pause, and I see him lying down on the couch, and I just imagined Jabba the Hutt from Star Wars, because he was just chilling, dude. He was like this. And I'm like, hey, so what'd you think? And then he kind of looks at me, he's like, yeah, bro, that's the one, bro. That's the one. And that was it. And that became a mixtape, and that got passed out at Lollapalooza. So that's kind of how I made waves coming back here. But Chris,
I'm sure that
Do we have
wasn't
a sample?
the last. I'm sure that wasn't the last session.
You
that
know
was like
what?
that. Right?
No.
That's
Many a
like
times.
many a times you see
Many
a
a
lot of
times,
exactly that shit.
Yeah.
Exactly that thing. Do we
Many
have
a
the
times.
song? Raph was asking. Do we have the song? Do we have a
Or
sample?
just a live, or just
We
a
gotta have
live
something.
sample.
I know you gotta-
Oh my god, I don't. So these are cassette tapes.
Yeah.
So like, I don't even.
I don't even know if I have it, because I thought I did. I don't have it. I thought I did.
Man.
And funny side note, Kid Chris, when I told this story to him in conversation, he goes, "You just destroyed my experience." I was like, "What do you mean?" You were this guy from California. You were like this like MC from Cali. So we thought, oh, this guy must be the shit. Like they're bringing him in from California. I'm like, no, I fucking moved here.
Yeah.
And then
We all thought that. I thought they were bringing him in as a special guest. I really
The
did.
and I
mystique around it.
fell into the gig. I fell into it. It wasn't even like.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
what Kid Chris was like, man, dude, I almost wish you didn't tell me that story, because like now it changes the way I think about how I felt about that party, because I think they were underage when they got in there.
Yeah.
And they were watching the show. Like, oh, they were so like, oh my god, it's like rapper from Cali. Yeah,
Special
Dream Shatter.
guest.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
no, it wasn't
The
special.
curtain was pulled out.
Yeah. Hey,
Wow.
That's what TFH is about, right? We're supposed to
Tell
Yeah,
the
sure.
truth.
Pull back the
show you
curtain.
how the sausage is made. No pause. So
The sausage.
so yeah, that was my first gig, and that was my introduction to like the Chicago scene again, as an MC, and it was interesting. The crowd is different. Coming from California is definitely different steez. But
How long were you in California then for?
8 years. So I moved from
8
'88
years.
to like around '97. Yeah, 9 years I guess around there. Yeah, just different crowds, way different.
Super
That's
different.
where you and I have a lot of similarities. Like I moved away too. I was in Georgia for a while, so like I did the same thing. Like I come from Albany Park, where there's just a bunch of, It's like you don't understand anything nearly close to racism or anything with segregation or anything like that, and then you move somewhere where that's the thing. Like that's like a thing. You only hang out with your kind, or you only hang out with blah blah blah, and it's a shell shock, right? And you're like, and then you come home and you're like, I can become a whole different person. Like I can be this person I want to be. Right.
Yeah.
Mind you, all this time Jeff is like 6 years old, right? Is
Barely.
Jeff?
And I'm
How old were
5.
you back then?
In '96, I was 10.
Hey,
And I was 9.
Oh my goodness.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So and
I was 14.
you know, we'll lead into it. I'll let Dave sort of pick up where I leave off.
Yeah.
But there's a point in time after Lollapalooza where I actually had beef with Pacifics and that whole group. Like those guys didn't like me at first.
We didn't.
Really?
Yeah. Lucky me. I kept bringing him around, but
Yeah.
How did
All
you
roads
guys
lead.
meet?
All roads lead to D double. So
What's the crazy story and of how your romance started? Like how did you
What's
guys?
Pacifics?
Pacifics is a rap group.
The first original Filipino rap group out of
Got
Chicago.
it.
Right. Well, let me show you guys something. Hold on.
Here we go.
Uh-oh.
What does he
Are
have?
you gonna rap right now?
No. What does he have?
I call Asian Avenue T-shirt.
Oh,
He's got the vinyl.
the vinyl. Nice.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
Shout out Pacifics. Rex
Pacific's
Ford's out there.
album.
Rex.
Yep.
I believe Rex out there. Rex
Yeah,
is
that
out
should
there.
be out there.
That's a dope album.
Yeah, that's produced. That whole album is majority produced by Illmind,
Illmind.
and this is before Illmind blew the fuck up. I mean, he was already dope back then, but then Illmind now, as you see him on Twitch, and he's producing Grammy records. And
Superstars.
Yeah.
I admit, I was in his Twitch channel. I was trying to name drop. Yo, Ilmai, what up, man? Yo, I used to rhyme with Pacifics. You know who they are? Oh shit, he didn't see me because he has like 1,000
He
viewers
has
in
way
his
too
channel.
many.
Like,
You don't even. Yeah.
You should just whisper him.
I know. Yeah.
Way too
So,
many.
I can't remember when we, Dave. I don't know. How did
I
how did
don't.
this
I
all
don't
come about?
remember. I don't even remember either. But our connection is the suburbs. Our connection is the suburbs. Basically, I only remember one altercation, one incident that we first met, and that was at Loyola College.
With Kiko.
There was a show, and
Yeah.
one of my good friends, who just got out of jail.
I want to hear you tell this story because I'm gonna retell it because
First came out of jail. This is my side of the story. So
Okay, here we go.
I was DJing. It was actually Vincent Virgil. Y'all are here. It was when who are you gonna run to? What's his name?
Warren Rigg.
Warren Rigg performed at Loyola.
What?
We're at Loyola. I get off the decks. He's about to perform. I see my boy get into a scuffle over a 40.
Oh man.
They're behind speakers. That's where everyone's drinking, behind the big old stacks of speakers. And all I saw was my boy punch Voltaire in the chest. Blah!
You see that?
And
That's where the
then-
embellishment part comes. But,
And then after that, all I saw was nothing. Like we dissipated and we didn't see each other again until like another house party. That's my story because that's all I remember. I didn't interact with you after that. I just saw you get punched. That's all.
I got punched. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
I guess I'll tell my story.
Dave's like, that's the dude that got punched. That's that dude that got punched.
Been holding that shit for decades.
That's how he knows
Good
you.
luck.
That's my
Oh
story.
my god. Okay.
So I
How did
remember
the
that.
story really go?
What happened?
All right.
Let me give you the real. It's fine. I guess people believe
want the other
Dave,
side.
like, you know, in the sense when you believe, like, when your Lolo tells you stories, you just straight away you
Always the
believe him,
truth.
right? You're like, oh,
Truth, though.
he's got to be telling the truth. He goes, oh my God, son, there was 55 people there, and I punched all 55 of them. So you
56.
believe them,
I
right?
punched 56 of them.
Vince
So-
remembers that night.
See, he remembers that. So here,
You
so
remember you getting punched? Yeah.
stop it. Don't start with me. So Rod Doliente, if you don't know who Rod Doliente is, so Rod Doliente is we grew up together. Just to give the connections or degrees of separation, Rod Doliente is first cousins with the Manuels, who are also Stashwell and Flip Hop.
Flip-Hop's cousin.
So they have a really big family. Quavo Nation, he's in there too, like that. They're all cousins. So Rod Doliente, I grew up with him before I moved from Chicago. So when I came back, obviously didn't know anybody. So he took me out. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna introduce you to these guys. We're going to the party, whatever. We're going to Loyola." So I drove down there from the city. I picked him up like in by Shakespeare. Where's that? By where Ducks is or Dukes or the burger joint. Is that by Sen? On Peterson. It's on Peterson. Yeah. So I went to go pick him up. Right. And we go to this Loyola party. So we walk in. I see these guys, DJs playing hip hop. I remember seeing Dave there. He looked exactly the same minus the goatee. So he's spinning, right? He's doing his thing. He's DJing. And so I think it was Freddie Gopez, right? Freddie and Jonathan and those guys. So I get introduced to them. We're talking. They had 40s, right? So they were drinking 40s back behind the DJ booth. Yo, you want to get this 40? I was like, sure. So they're like, we're passing it around. Think of COVID. You're like, that's fucking gross. Whatever. We're passing it around.
That was what we did.
I'm drinking the 40. Out of nowhere, from like the right behind me here, someone slaps the 40 out of my hand while I'm drinking it. So I kind of turned like, what the fuck? He's like, bro, why are you drinking my drink? And I was like, who the fuck are you? And like this, I mean, don't get me wrong. And me and Frankie, we've talked to each other about this story, but I just looked at him like, and he's kind of a smaller dude. And then I guess people were trying to warn me like, yo, he just got out of prison. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'll fucking smash this guy, right? That's what I was thinking back then. So whatever, there was like some shoves and a bunch of like chest puffing and yelling and shit, and then they broke up, and there was no punch to the chest.
Nobody got punched. You didn't get punched.
Nobody got punched. No. I wish it was that crazy, but perhaps Dave.
Maybe the angle I was in.
Maybe like like the shove.
Maybe the smack of the bottle.
Yeah.
It could have been from the angle. Could have looked like a punch.
Granted,
So
I mean,
that's the
Reenact
connection.
it.
So now that I'm thinking about it, that's the connection. Him drinking with them and that's my like old clique.
That was his
And
clique,
that
yeah.
was where we started kind of combining, right? So we'd end up seeing each other at different parties. Voltaire ends up at another party. I see him freestyling. Oh, he's the rapping guy
Yeah.
from California.
This is how we got pitted against each other.
So I'm with Rex and Pacifics, and we're all here. We go to parties. We're with like Brian Nevado, who also was in original Dean's List. So Brian, who used to hang with the Gonzaleses and all, so it's all connected, right? So we end up at all the same parties rapping.
But
rapper
Voltaire was
and
rapping with Jaime, and that's
Jaime and
Brian's
them.
brother. That's
Right,
Brian's
so-
brother, right?
And they were all
Yeah.
cool. So they're all
No, Brian
that's right.
Nevado, not Brian Naharo.
Nevado.
Oh, not
No,
Naharo? Oh, okay.
Juggernaut.
sorry.
Yeah,
Brian
sorry,
Nevado.
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut,
Brian, yeah. So we all show up at the same parties now. Rex from Pacifics is cousins with Brian Nevado. So that's the connection there. They used to be Dean's List original, boom, boom, boom. Everyone's connected. We're all at the same parties. Now they're rapping, and we're rapping. They're like, oh, that's that dude. Oh, they should battle. Oh, yeah, haha. Then the thing was Rex versus him. Like, they want to battle.
For some reason, they pit the two fat guys against each other. I'm gonna say it for what it is. Rex is. We're much slimmer now. Back then, we were. They always pit the two big dudes against each other, right? So the rumor swirling around was me and Rex battled in front of Double Door. That was a rumor, right? I was like, I don't even know who this fucking Rex guy is. Like, who is this guy? And I'm sure they were thinking the same shit. Like, who's this big time Cali rapper?
Right.
Who apparently is not a big time Cali rapper at all. But who is this guy? So that was the beef between us, like their group and me and like Jaime and them. We didn't get along, and I think it was. I think I ended up breaking bread with KP with Mars at like a U of I party. You remember like the fashion shows, and then there was an after set.
Yeah.
And I was coming off the high of Lollapalooza.
Are you and Jaime already like major league by this point? Is that your group?
We didn't coin the name yet, but we had sort of thrown the concept around it. That was the click.
It was getting there. Okay.
And then to tie in Dynasty in all this, Dynasty is what really brought Rex and Voltaire together.
Yeah,
because
we
they
ended up
started working together while I'm DJing, they're MCing and holding it down and hosting.
Yeah.
And then the long, outstanding joke at all the Dynasty parties was, oh, yeah, I was supposed to battle Rex. Oh, yeah, I was supposed to battle Voltaire. Ho, ho, ho. And then that was it.
And then we would freestyle, and then we'd hug and kiss. And that was like the flowers and rainbows. Lyle.
I feel like I'd seen that a million times. You guys freestyle and then hug. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Lyle, that guy, how I ended up becoming Dynasty, that guy scammed me into passing flyers out. So I was at I used to live in Hanover Park with my sister, and they were doing a car show at the
I'm
train station.
Streamwood.
Yeah, the train station right there, right on Lake Street.
Yes.
So they were doing a car show in the parking lot. So I could walk. I was at the houses across from there. So I see this car show. I walk over there. And then all these import cars and shit. I'm like, okay, this is like some Cali shit, right? I just moved from Cali. This is, the Chicago's trying to be on it. I get it. So I meet this guy, Lyle Dunwindo, and he's like, hey, bro, where you from? And, Cali, this and that, right? Oh, okay, Cali. Everyone knows Lyle. If you know Lyle, you know his voice. You're from Cali. Oh, okay. So, however that conversation went, he was like, oh, well, we got this party coming up. He's like, how would you like to pass some flyers out, and you put your stamp on it, and then if they bring the flyer to the door, you get like $1 or $2 per person. That's how promotions work back in the day, right? You'd put the stamps on the flyers, and they had to bring that flyer to the door to get a discount, and you would also get money as a promoter. So he fucking gives me this stack of flyers. I end up going to Gurney Mills like the next day to go pass flyers out, and then I got a fucking $20 solicitation ticket. Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. I was like, what the fuck? They're like, oh yeah,
I didn't know that either.
You cannot solicit without a permit. It's $20. So Lyle still owes me $20 with compounded interest. So that's like 99. So,
like $8,000.
Yeah. So Lyle, wherever you are, I'd like that money, please. Thank you. And then for the time I worked at 92.3 Street Team and I drove the truck around. Thank you. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so that's how Dynasty was for me. I ended up really working with Dave and Rex on a more like just at the club sort of promotions level where we were doing gigs and stuff. It wasn't just like the hip hop thing. So that's kind of how our paths crossed.
You were promoting gigs, and you were like actually promoting events and whatnot.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
That's dope. Making the money, right?
Well, sort of.
Sort of.
Sure.
Sort of.
Let's say we were. Yes.
And how old was Jeff by this time? This is 99.
Jeff is now
We're
Sora.
keeping track.
Still 96?
No, we're
99.
like 99-ish.
99.
He's like 13.
13.
perfect.
I'm 12.
What I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, guys. That's it. I feel good.
I feel good.
I feel good.
Great.
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 I feel
I'm like
my,
17.
Oh, that's so.
All
I think
right.
we're more on pace with your dad. I think your dad is like
Yeah.
closer to our age group than
Yeah.
at least to
I'm only,
Dave, not me.
I'm only a little bit under.
To Dave, maybe.
Yeah, to Dave.
But yeah, Volteezy, me and you are closer in age.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
Dave's not close to age to anybody.
No.
That's why I was saying he's closer to my dad.
I am, but I won't let that out. I know who I am, who's older than me as well, but I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
There's someone older than me.
Are they in the
who?
chat?
Is it
They could be.
Otis?
They could be. Other than
Otis?
Kuya Eris.
What was your first
one more
guess?
in there.
Who was your
You
guess?
see, no, hold on. Notice how D Double calls my dad Kuya Eris, and then everyone else is calling him Tito.
Yeah,
Tito Harris.
definitely Kuya.
That's when you know. That's when you know
true.
D Double is closer to my dad's age.
That's so true.
You call us adding.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice that.
So were you guys around for? Do you guys remember Eclipse?
Yeah. Have you
do?
been to
Yeah.
Oh, I
Eclipse,
know,
guys?
Dave. I know you know, motherfucker.
No, I'm talking to them. I'm
I don't
talking to
never
them.
went to Eclipse. No.
Negative.
Eclipse, no. This is the first time we brought Kai. If you remember the group.
Oh wow,
Kai.
the singing group.
The
Of
singing
course,
group.
you remember
Yeah.
the group Kai.
So I remember we brought them
You know.
here, and that was how the connection started being made with Quincy. So QB the artist, who's probably in the chat. We started.
Artist.
Yep,
started
he's here.
connecting.
Tito Q.
Tito Q, yeah. So we brought Kai here, and I remember when we did that show at Eclipse, it was the first time like people were just fangirling over the group, and they did Say You'll Stay, and it was over. Like
Ooh.
someone threw underwear on the stage,
Wow.
like literal like
Clean?
panties. I hope so. I mean,
Like just
Yeah.
in their pocket.
We brought every group out. We brought Pinay. We brought DNH.
Pinay,
We brought
Yes. Ooh,
Oh,
brought everything.
man.
we brought DNH to sing
Devotion.
the
Did you bring devotion?
The dirty underwear, whatever.
we
Sexy
never-
underwear.
we
Dirty
never did
underwear. Dirty underwear. Sexy underwear. My bad.
Yeah, we had DNH.
the Filipino
sing
underwear, the box.
Yeah,
So,
they sang
and-
the national anthem at Rice Bowl.
Yeah, they were at Rice Bowl.
So we actually brought them out, and then
Oh.
That's
What year
dope.
was that? Do you remember?
Had
My
to
first
be-
one was 05.
Had to be 99, 2000.
Yeah,
Oh,
2000
never
mind.
around there. Yeah,
Had to
Rice
be,
Bowl.
because-
Everyone
Yeah,
played
because
Rice Bowl? You guys remember that Rice Bowl?
I played Rice
Oh, yeah.
Bowl
Yeah, I remember it.
my like sophomore year or freshman year.
I played and coached at USC. We won 3 championships. And fun fact, I was never a student there. So cool.
yeah.
Hey.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew a lot of players that played for specific schools but never went to those schools.
But
Ringers.
didn't
Yeah,
go to the
we had
school.
those
It's all
people.
ringers, man.
We
Like,
did have those people.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Mhm.
Wow.
oh my God. Yeah, the Rice Bowl was
Yeah.
that was amazing. Like I think see, every team brings in ringers. I think that's probably still happens.
Ringers.
We had like UIC though in particular because it's a commuter school, right? And
That is
it's a
correct.
city.
That is correct because
Yeah.
oh maybe was it UIC? I think it was either UIC or U of I where one of my boys that I went to school with at DeVry. He would play for one of those teams.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, we were recruiting guys like there was guys that worked out with other guys outside of UIC, and they would just bring them in.
Yeah.
Like,
We
oh, I
only
used to
we,
play like
and we also
Division
had
II
players
ball.
from UIC that we would only see once a year, and we'd never see them again.
you never see them
Like,
again.
yeah, they just show
So
up
brought
to
them
play.
in just for Rice Bowl. So
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
chat, for those who didn't exist or maybe don't know what Rice Bowl is, and again thinking about it in my 40s, what a dumb idea.
It's so dangerous.
It's fucking 11 on 11,
Hell yeah.
full tackle football.
Yeah.
No helmets, no
pads.
pads.
Nothing.
Nothing. Just go
The
for it.
girls were not that way.
No,
we
you
were
had two-hand
flag
shove.
or- Oh no,
Yeah,
touch.
girls were
Yeah,
touch.
yeah. It was.
It was
yeah,
shoved.
touch, yeah.
To be fair,
Show.
because
It was shoved.
some of the ladies would get a little fired up, and it would be like a two-hand like,
nice.
shove.
No, I got tackled on defense.
I mean, at the risk of sounding old, I mean, but that's how we played, though. when we were kids. Like we
Right.
played
You
full.
play-
If you had grass, you played full tackle.
Abed played
like-
linebacker for U of I, and she dislocated her finger one time.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
Wow.
and her dad works in physical therapy, and he just popped it back in mid
Of
game.
course.
Mid game.
Mid game, rub
Like,
some,
all right,
rub
go
some
back
Vicks
in,
on
go
it.
back
Rub some dirt on it. Go back in.
Rub Vicks on it.
Popped
You're
it back
good.
in, went straight back in.
Yeah, that, I
Put
mean,
the
so yeah,
Vicks
imagine
nib
that.
around.
Full
Oh,
day.
girl.
It's a full day tournament. 11-on-11 football tournament. Double elimination. So potentially, you're
Could
playing
play
3 full football games
3 or 4 games.
in a day. Like
Same
we're
day.
not in the same day. Like NFL players don't do that shit. But you got a bunch of like knuckleheads in a Filipino group, or like FIA or whatever the other Asian groups were in the other schools, and yeah, that seems like a good idea. I
Kalahi
would remember
combo.
every year when we would hand out the waivers.
Yeah, waivers that didn't mean anything.
Right at
Does
that
it
time, like that
still
has
exist?
no legal standing whatsoever. You just typed
Yeah.
up some shit like just make sure you don't sue whoever, and
Wow.
FIA is not responsible. But nobody that had no legal standing. I mean,
None.
but who was going to sue? We were all out
Yeah.
there just killing.
Wasn't
killing
it like
each
if
other.
like the park ranger came around, everyone was supposed to make up that we were there for like some family?
Yeah, it would be like
It's a reunion, a family reunion.
And everyone has uniforms and
like those brown people, boy, they just reproducing. Yeah, we got like 50 cousins here. Yeah, we would play it off like it was like a barbecue slash, but we're all
In the
wearing
winter.
different.
In the
different-
winter time.
Yeah, in the
It was
winter.
like around Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah,
Thanksgiving,
it was cold. It was always
Yeah.
cold.
different
That's
colored
hilarious.
jerseys on. Oh, we're all family.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Lil Berries and Jamie Knows Volteezy. They both
Yeah,
played together.
they both
actually.
played.
Yeah.
That's right.
Loyola
oh yeah,
at that
Lil
time.
Berry's brought up the picture. from-
Yeah, she
Yeah.
had the picture from
on hers.
from,
So yeah, that was cool.
Rice Bowl on her
Yeah.
show. Yeah, and I think Jamie was in that picture too. It was like the whole
She
group.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
That's
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
The Rice Bowl. Yeah. So, Raph, you played for UIC?
Yeah, only like 1 or 2 years. I was too nice. I just talked to my person
That's
that
too
I'm like
nice.
supposed to defend, and then
Did you just ask them nicely, like, can you stop running?
I was just
please?
like, "So, what's up? What's your name?"
Right,
Go
right,
on,
just like no,
maybe
Sam's
quickly.
like, hey, you going to the after party? Oh my god, I'll be there. Oh my god.
Exactly. I was like, "Well, I got a jersey out of it."
I
I
would,
don't have it. Wait, okay, let me see if I have it. Here.
I would. Oh, wardrobe change number 2.
Wardrobe.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Three, that's three.
Number 3.
That's
Number
three.
This will be 3. There was one pre-show, and then there was one during show, and then this will be a third one.
So I would say Dave could talk about like when he was doing. So he had probably 2 different roles at this point, right? As a DJ, at least from my perspective, as a person watching him. You were doing the Asian clubs, right, where you were sort of playing your top 40 or like house music or
I was
whatever it
still
was.
playing. I was still playing hip hop.
Some are, yeah, but
yeah.
he also had a sort of backpacker side of him.
Yeah.
That it was at that time was
So
That's what I always
yeah,
wondered too. Is like, how much did you rap back then? Because I knew you rapped, but
I didn't really.
you would rap every once in a while, right? Like,
Yeah, I
mean,
would.
we
I
did
would-
Cyphers
She got the jersey.
Hey,
the
nice
jersey.
jersey.
She got it.
looks better than mine. Shit.
Shit. My rapping came once we all lived together. So
okay.
Voltaire and I, my cousin Mike Damano and Rex, we all lived together in apartments.
Oh, here we go. Picture time. It's a good segue.
Different apartments.
Artie, you
And-
got that the roomies picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know I know that you had always been a DJ to me, but we had been in ciphers together. I knew you.
Yeah,
rapped,
yeah,
like,
and I would do open mic. I'd be Tuesdays. Open
Yeah.
mic. I'd be.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's so
I
there. That's
know
why
Dave.
I'm not in there.
Dave's not in there, but I couldn't find one of all of us. So
Yeah,
that's
you-
Rex, Rex and Cheryl, me, and
Rex.
Jamie, and Mike Damano, who
That's
is
Mike
no
Damano.
relation to Dave Damano, no relation to my brother-in-law Noel Damano. So I actually have 3 different Damanos that they're not related to each other.
Wow, that's
Isn't
crazy.
that crazy?
We are. We're
That is
all from
crazy.
the
Like
same-
a
we're all-
common last
No, we're
name.
all from the same town. And the way my grandfather explained it was that there's the rich Dimaanos and the poor. And he's like, we are the poor Dimaanos. And I was like, okay, so there you
I
go.
love that.
The one common thing that we all have is the same flat nose. So Mike has the same flat nose I do. We have pango. We're both pango.
Pango.
So
Yeah,
Wait,
so
so who's who here? So this is Volteezy.
on the left, yeah. And then you got
And then
Rex from Pacifics. Rex
Right here?
Strike 3. He's in the chat on the right.
Strike
And,
357.
This is he was not married yet, but that's Cheryl, so that's his wife. And then that's Mike DeMono in the middle, and that's Jamie knows Volteezy on the left of him. So yeah. So that we all had an apartment together. We lived in USC, by USC.
Yep.
Not in USC. We lived by
We
USC.
lived at Polk and Western. Polk and Western. Polk and Western.
Polk and Western.
Wow, the 4 of you guys. That's dope. I didn't know.
Actually, it was actually the 3 of us,
Rex
and
was a
Rex was just
straggler.
there all the time.
Rex just happened to be one of the guys. who-
Literally, he was there all the time, along with RJ, along with
RJ.
Christian, along with Chris Mix. They were all just always at our place, so we were
Our
there.
apartment was the hangout spot. It was so musical.
Yeah,
You have all of those people in the same apartment.
Jeez, like, thank God we moved out.
Yeah,
there.
thank God, definitely.
Yes. So Shmo brought up a point. That is the time that we did get robbed.
Yes, we got robbed.
That was a
remember
big
that.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Ah,
that.
it was
Home
crazy.
invasion and like hostage taking and
Oh, well,
yeah,
Yeah.
man. yeah.
I don't know how much you want to get into the story, but you're welcome.
No,
if
I
you
don't.
want
I
to.
mean, I
Go ahead.
don't mind.
Long
go ahead.
story short, we were on TV because we got my car stolen, my records like we got us tied under
crazy.
our
They put couches on top of us.
They
Yeah,
put our
I
couches
know
on top of us. They cut Voltaire with a knife. They beat me with a gun. They bashed my head. Like, you know, if you watch cartoons, you see stars, right? People see stars when they get punched in cartoons. I really saw stars. I've never felt a gun. Like, he brandished me. Like,
Damn.
he was cutting Voltaire's leg. He was like,
Yeah.
there were 3 of them. They were doing all this stuff. They stuck our dog in the bathroom.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. Like, and I don't mind telling the story. I think because it's for to anybody who ever goes through something like that, it's surreal, right? Because it's never real until the shit happens to you.
Exactly.
Right? You always hear about, oh shit, somebody home invasion or whatever, someone got mugged in the alley. When this shit happens to you, like there's a lot of things that go through your head. You're like, wow, like this shit is happening. Like there's many moments in that night where you don't think you're gonna make it, which is it's an odd way to think. You know what I mean? Because and so this is, I guess, what year was this? 03?
This is 01.
Yeah, it's got to be 01.
This is 01.
Yeah,
This is before September 11th. After September.
Right.
After September 11th or before. It's
Before.
somewhere in between there. Yeah.
It was before.
Yeah.
So no, it was after because we left the apartment.
We left. So it's after September 11th. So it had to be colder.
2002.
Yeah.
2002.
Something like that.
So in May. So me and D Double, right? So this is where, so I guess D Double had taught me how to spin at some point because I didn't have a job and I couldn't pay my part of rent. So Dave offered it up. He's like, well, let me teach you how to DJ and you could just take some of the gigs that I can't make, right? And these were like the shit times, the opening ones, or like the ones where there's like 10 people in the club or whatever. But fine, I'm still getting paid, right? So he taught me on tables which I owned. They weren't even his tables. They're the ones that I'm
He's
using.
never owned
Right.
equipment.
These are the ones that I'm using today, who I bought from BIM. Shout out Jovim.
Hey, Bill.
Damn.
He sold me his 5th set of 12s
Yeah.
for like $500. And I'm still using them now, right? And so Dave taught me how to spin. I ended up getting like an opening set at Zentra and
Ooh.
Allure.
and then Allure, Cafe Allure.
Allure.
Yeah. So
That's
imagine so our Thursday nights were very routine. He had a black Pathfinder with all his records in it, right? So we would go down to the car in the back of the apartment like at 9 o'clock or so, and we'd start divvying up records.
Oh,
like,
right.
You know, right? We'd be like, okay, I'll play dance hall. So I'm like putting dance hall records in my bag, and these are all Dave's records. Like I wasn't the DJ, so we would divvy up records, and then our routine was he'd drop me off at Allure or wherever, and he would go to do his gig, and then we would meet up at Zentra later, and we close Zentra out. So we're back there 9 o'clock Thursday night, divvying up records. 3 guys come from the alley, right? They kind of walk in, and to like give up the truck. That's all you heard. Like I wasn't even, you know, I was looking at records. So I'm thinking to myself, like, fuck, we gotta get to a fight. It's like 9 o'clock. Like I'm not,
Yeah. Like,
you know what I mean? Like
I'm
I'm still starting my night. So I turn around. I'm like, dude, for real? Like what the fuck? And they all had guns.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, immediately I'm like, all right, man. You know what? Whatever, right? Take the shit. Take it. It's not even worth it. All right, take the shit. Whatever. Do what you gotta do. And then Dave, and to his defense, I'm offering up his shit. Right? It's not my shit.
Yeah.
It's his shit, right? But I'm trying to diffuse it, right? I'm like, okay, you know what? Take the car, take whatever you want. Not worth it. Dave is like, guys, can you please leave the records?
I'm scared. Like, so when I'm scared, I talk a lot, so I can't stop talking, and I'm just
He was like, guys, please, can you please? That's my lifeblood. Yeah, anything but the records.
I'm like, I can't part with these records. You could take the car, you could take whatever. Then these dudes go,
wow.
Yeah,
where do you live?
Yeah. So they hit him over the head. This is what I remember. They hit him over the head the first time.
What?
And they're like, you know, whatever. So they give us we're giving up our shit, like wallet, keys, whatever. I know, right in the back of my mind, Mike DeMano, who was in that picture, our third roommate,
is in the house,
and Jamie,
and the dog
were in the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I'm thinking like, I'm not trying to let these guys get up in the apartment. That's my thinking. So I'm trying to like distract them, like, here, take this shit and go. I get it, whatever. You know, we ain't gonna call the cops. You just go, right? I was just trying to get them to go. One of them was like, no. Let's go up in your apartment. And that's where the shit went south. That was like, okay, this is fucked up.
So to get into my apartment, or our apartment, is my room first. My back door is my room. So we have to go through the back door into my room to get into the apartment. We get there, and the first thing they go is, because this is unprepared, unplanned, nothing. These dudes had no idea they were going to rob us that day. They're like, hey, man, you got any masks or gloves?
They were asking for hoodies and shit. And like
hoodies? They were asking for stuff to cover themselves. We're staring at their face. We're like,
These guys were kids. Like you could tell they were like 15, 16. Like they were not prepared to do this.
Yeah,
right. This is all on a whim at this point. So, you know, they walk us in through Dave's room. The two guys walk with Dave to the front of the apartment. The last guy stays with me, and they stay behind. And this is where he's asking me for a hoodie from Dave's closet.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, you got a hoodie, bro? I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know. Take one. Shit.
Like, what, you cold, dog? Like,
yeah, you asking me, like,
you calling me a bro?
Yeah, you want fashion advice and shit? Like, what the fuck? So, whatever. We're sitting back there. Finally, we all roll up to the front. And now Mike DeMano, our roommate, they hit him over the head because he woke up from a nap thinking like these are our boys. Like we just they just walking through the hallway. He's sleeping.
He's like,
so
what
he
up,
came
dog?
out. Yeah, he came out and he's like, what's going on? And they hit him over the head.
They hit him, yeah.
So we're like, what the hell, right? So they walked us into the front room. They at some point I think they started to look for shit to tie us up with.
They asked us, do you have any rope?
Yeah. They asked us if we had rope. Like, I mean, even if I did, I'm not gonna fucking answer you. Like, oh, sure, it's in the top counter. Just grab that.
So they took
you
our
getting me a drink too by your.
They started ripping our telephone cords out of the wall.
Yeah, they used the phone cord. One of them, I think they tied my ankles up with like a Dreamcast controller. I remember that. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like these guys. So they did not tie up Jamie. So Jamie was still sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
And this is all happening. Like we're getting tied up. This is where they hit Dave over the head again. This is where they busted him open because I think
I look like Mr. Potato Head. I was like,
yeah, his shit was all. So they had us on the floor.
Because I kept talking to him. I kept telling him, hey, man, y'all like hip-hop?
Talk too
He was
much.
name dropping.
I was like,
Just talk
hey,
too
man,
much.
I spin hip-hop. You see my records? You see my 12? Like, you can have. What do you want,
I was like yelling at him in my head. I'm
You're like, shut the fuck up.
This guy's like, yo.
Dave's like, you want my 12s? That's not even his 12.
They're my fucking 12s. Fuck, man.
Take my 12s.
So he's like, I remember him saying some shit like, and I recall this. This is because this is right before they hit him. And I remember him saying some shit like, y'all down with hip hop, right? Y'all down with comedy? He's like, 87th, bro. You know how we do, Joe. He was trying to get into it. Like, I was like, shut the fuck up. And he just pistol whipped him. So then I remember like, Yeah,
tried, man, I
they had
tried.
his face down, wrists bound, ankles bound,
Mhm.
and so they start rummaging through the place, like they're loading shit. It's like a fucking factory line. They're like walking back and forth to the truck and just loading shit.
Shit.
They were just rummaging through our like we had to have been there for like 10, 15 minutes, just tied up.
Yeah.
And so they're looking through our shit. They're asking us, "Where's the money?" And I'm like, telling them, I'm like, dude, you robbed the 3 wrong
You
motherfuckers.
broke
Like, we don't have
motherfuckers.
any money, bro.
We're
Like,
the most brokest, yo.
I wanted to be like, I'm DJing this dude's shit. He don't want to DJ. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, I don't have a job, bro. Like, so anyways, they're loading shit into the car, right? And then the one guy was kind of, and I have these like scars in the back of my leg. He pulls a knife out from the drawer, and he's like, big man, I know you know where the money's at. And he starts like slicing my leg
Slicing his leg.
to like try to get me to say something. And I'm like, the whole time, like, I didn't really feel it because it's adrenaline, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just answering him like, dude, we're fucking broke. Like, take whatever the fuck you want. We have nothing. Like, we don't, you know what I mean? Like, we had one TV and shit. Like, I don't get it. So whatever, they pack all this shit into the truck, and it's just like a procession, like a factory line. And then at one point, I think Jamie offered up like her ATM card. She was like, "Here, just take my ATM card. Here's a pin. Just go." And then they said, "That's a good idea. You're coming with us."
You're coming with us.
No.
This is where like, and you can imagine, right? You try to put yourself in that phase, and you're thinking in your head like a million different things, and you're like, and I'm thinking to myself, what do I do? Like, what am I supposed to do to prevent that from happening? Because thoughts are running through my head. So whatever, they go, that's a good idea, and then they walk back to the car with Jamie.
And they didn't come back.
The last guy starts drawing the blinds, turning the lights
Like,
on.
oh shit.
This is where I thought we were done.
That's it. Yeah.
Like, I thought this dude was gonna straight kill us. And I remember my roommate Mike, he was praying the rosary.
Yeah, he started praying. Yeah.
He was like kind of crying. He was praying, and I just kept going like, just fuck. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I just say what you got to say, and I was just sort of like, what's gonna happen? Then you hear the door chime, because Dave's door, the back door,
Made
had
noise.
a chime. So you hear the chime when they open the door. Beep beep beep. Close the door. Silence.
It was quiet.
2 minutes. And imagine we're tied up.
Couches
We're on the ground.
top of it.
They prop the couches on top of us. I don't know if there's this guy standing behind me,
Yeah.
waiting for me to move or waiting for us to move. After like 2 minutes, I think I told Mike or Dave, I said, we got to do something.
Yeah.
Like, we can't wait here. I don't even know if this guy's here, but we got to go. We got to do something, because inevitably, if we stay here and no one's here, they're going to come back and kill us. Like, I can't imagine how it doesn't change.
Yeah.
So something happened, and like I fucking,
Well, first off, we had to get out of what we were
yeah,
tied
we
up.
were
Yeah.
tied up with.
Nothing was tied. They wrapped it around.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
literally,
that's
we
pretty
broke
easy.
through. Yeah, we broke through.
We broke through
Then
the
we
cable.
ran upstairs to our neighbor. Mind you, our
Fucking
neighbor,
Brad.
this
That
dude
fucking
named
guy.
Brad with like 3 kids. He's like man, I couldn't even describe him, but the dude came out with a bow and arrow, and he went looking for him like he was
He's like,
hunting.
where they at?
He's like, where they at?
He came with a bow and arrow.
Like
Bro,
like
don't
Hunger
remember-
Games, like
Bro, straight
Yeah.
up, he came out. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill him. Where they at? And he came out like that, and we were like, I was bloody. We were all jacked up. We're like, we gotta go get Jamie. We gotta figure it out.
Yeah. So yeah, we told them to call the cops.
oh,
So the cops show up, right? So now this is like post everything. The cops are coming. They're fucking fingerprint dusting everything, right? They're just like, what happened? Explain the story. The paramedics are like fucking bandaging up Dave. They're bandaging up my leg. And then you actually hear, this is like a fucking movie. It's weird. So
Yeah.
you hear
It is.
on the one of the cops' radios, like, shots fired, something. Immediately I'm thinking, this has got to be them.
Yeah.
Like, this is in the area, right? Whatever.
So the area
So-
we were in was Rockwell Gardens. That's Rockwell Gardens on Western
Project
and
Building.
290. Western and 290. So
mhm.
these guys literally took Jamie. Well, they dropped off Jamie at the ATM and left her.
Yeah.
They had a car chase with cops, and they shot at the cops. So when you shoot at cops, that means all the cops in every
yeah.
precinct
They
is
come.
coming after you.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
followed everybody into Rockwell Gardens and took everybody in that was outside of Rockwell Gardens in to I'll do a lineup, and we picked them. We picked the 3 of them right away out of all of them.
Yeah. So the detective, right? So obviously we got brought in right after that whole ordeal.
But Jamie was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jamie's side of the story, she's told me the story, and hopefully I tell it right. It was something to the effect of, so they drove to an ATM close to close by.
Close to a fire department or something,
or something like that.
Something or other.
So she got out to get money. Now, obviously, the ATM, you can only pull out $500.
X amount of cash, yeah.
Right? She pulls out the money. She came back. She gave it to him. I think they sent her back. Like, no, we want more money. And she's like, I can't pull out any more money. And I think a random cop car or something pulled up.
Yeah.
It wasn't even looking for them, just pulled up. And they panicked and took off and they left her there.
And then
so she's just by circumstance. She could have been in the car when they fucking, you know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
So she was at the ATM. Oh, see, look, Jamie can probably tell the story better because she obviously was there. But I mean, from my perspective, you imagine now they bring us to the police station after all this shit goes down. I'm fucking panicking. I'm yelling at the cops they fucking took my girlfriend, that they took her. I don't know what happened, what's going on. And then she rolls into the police station hours later, right? And she's telling her side of the story. But to Dave's point, so the detective goes, all right, the DA is going to be here. DA is going to show up, and she's going to ask you, how many lineups did you look at? And you're going to tell him
you're going to tell him
you looked at one. I didn't get why, right? I was like, I don't get that. What do you mean? They pulled the whole fucking building.
They grabbed everybody
that they ran into.
Yeah,
there was fucking 50 people there.
Yeah,
we looked at 7 lineups.
Right.
I mean,
they
just
they don't want to. They don't want to say they pulled that many people because that looks bad. Yeah, that looks bad.
Of course it does. Of course it does. And the fact that they shot the cops, they had all kinds of lieutenants and high-ranking officers that were there. I remember the detective telling me, he goes, "I wish that these guys weren't here. I promise you, I would put you in a room with one of these guys. I would lock the door, and I would let you have your 5-10 minutes
and be done.
Wow.
But it was we can't because there's so many people here. This is a big deal. So we ended up seeing our news story on the TV
on Channel 5 in the morning.
You guys were on Channel 5. You were in the newspaper. You were all over. I remember that specifically.
My mom saw it and said, I knew that car looked familiar. And she's like, didn't I tell you not to live by UIC? And so I got in trouble for it. And
of course, your mom. Why did you live there? You could have lived in the suburbs in the Humboldt Park area, and then you go there.
And can you imagine? Me and Jamie were probably only dating 4 months.
Yeah, brand new.
Oh, wow.
So how am I at some point I'm going to meet her parents? I'm that guy. Oh,
you didn't meet the parents yet?
No, we haven't met yet.
Wow.
So it's but yeah, it's that going through that ordeal. It obviously changes you. I was definitely had a definitely different perspective on life going forward. And that's where I said, never again will I. Obviously, situational awareness is one, but this is why I've always thought about home defense and thinking about how to prepare myself, always double checking things. So I'm definitely very detail oriented when it comes to wherever we are.
Right.
I'm always scoping where we are, where we sit, where's the exit. It's it's habit. You get put into some shit like that, and it's game changing.
I bet. I mean, that changes your whole way you look at everything.
Oh yeah.
Like you're saying where you sit, you're saying your exits. How do I get out of here if some shit happens?
Yeah. You sit with your back to a wall so you can see everything, and it's
I always sit in the corner. At the restaurants, I don't sit with my back to a door ever. That's just not. I want to see people coming in. That's my deal.
Yeah, yeah. And so Jamie, to her point, those guys are out of jail now.
Yeah.
So because what happened was we never
showed up.
We never went to trial. I told them when they asked us would you guys be willing to testify? I said fuck yeah, fucking throw the book at them. Yeah. And what happened was they ended up plea bargaining, and they got a deal. And
before that deal, though, they kept extending their stay and their court dates, so they were in county jail for 5 years. Oh. So that's even worse than being in jail. They were in county for 5 years before they got whatever they're supposed to get, and then etc. And they kept sending us letters like, you want to come in and see the trial? No, I don't want to, but I want them to get in trouble. I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So 360's question, yes, because they took all our licenses. So we thought that they had our addresses. And of course, that's always going to be lingering in the back of your mind. Like, are these guys going to come back, and retaliate? I mean, to be honest, I forgot to tell that part where after the police station, right? So after everything's done, we go get Dave's car at the impound. It's covered in like fingerprint dust.
And
right?
white,
the records are still there. All of our stuff is still in there. Our TV's in there. Like, so we drove Dave's car covered in fingerprint dust back to the apartment.
Yeah.
So it's like 7 a.m. or something. It's like ass crack of dawn. We're driving back to the apartment. We get to the apartment, and immediately we're all thinking to ourselves like, "So we're not leaving. We're not living here anymore." We're obviously going to move out right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is, so we're packing our stuff. We call the landlord. The landlord is trying to like pinch us. Like, well, you guys still have like, you guys have 5 months on your lease, so like you have to sublet. And I was like, no, I ain't got to do shit. Like, and he's like, well, we take you to court. I'm like, good luck. Good luck with that. We'll tell our story. Good luck with that. And then he was like, oh, So anyways, we get there. We're packing our stuff. And we see this car that rolls up. Mind you, it's like 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And there's like this old like green Cutlass that pulls up. And there's 4 dudes in there. And they're just staring at us while we're moving.
So luckily, we had all the OGs with us. So we pulled our sub-T folks. We brought everybody with us.
And people were strapped.
Like, they were all strapped. Like, we was all ready to go. And I had OGs that would come to Zentra that came out. They're like, tell us the word. You didn't come to Zentra that night. What happened to y'all? Oh, I'm there. Let's go. And they came 6:30 in the morning. We were all ready on Western.
They basically watched us. We had a buddy of ours who was a cop in the 12th precinct. So
and he would let us know.
He showed up off duty. He had a shotgun and his pistol.
We were ready, boy.
We were ready. We were like, okay. So they waited. The car seen all these guys, and they circled around and they left. And then we packed our stuff and we moved out that morning.
Yeah. And we moved to the north side.
Yeah, that's where it's at. The north side.
Forget this UIC business. Let's go to Lincoln Square. So we went to Lincoln Square.
Go to Lakeview.
Yeah, so
that's where it's at. Man,
I don't know, man. I don't mind telling the story because I feel like if anyone can take anything out of it other than it's such a crazy and like surreal experience, is that it's just a reminder like that you just got to be aware. It doesn't matter where you are or like how comfortable you think you are. Like you just got to be ready or be aware of things going on around you. Like don't be ignorant of the fact that.
Yeah. I mean, thank you for sharing that story with us, though.
Yeah.
That's like, that was one of the realest stories we've heard on Talk From Home.
That was the crazy.
It was the most like, what's gonna happen next? Like, holy shit!
Where's my popcorn?
Yeah, that was it, dude. Like that was literally the best story on Talk From Home we've had when it comes to like real life shit. So thank you, man. Thank both of you for sharing that.
Movie coming shortly. I don't know who's
right. Like, can I play you?
Who would cast? Like, we got to cast people. Like,
hey, you never know.
I want to play Dave. So
DJ 50. DJ 50 is like, unfortunately, some of these animals come up north and prey.
They do. That's why, like, me and 50, we're from the same hood. So him and I grew up in Albany Park. We know, like, what happens in Albany Park, and a lot of those cats come this way. So
Swank called it out. We went to lunch when the weather was still nice a few months ago, and I told that story. And I remember Swank, which was like, I was like, it's a real story,
man. That's crazy, dude.
Shout out to my cousin. So QB called it out. Shout out to my cousin. My third cousin, Piolo Pasquale. Soon to be. I'm trying to. So my mom and his mom are, I guess, second cousins. So I'm trying to. Maybe I'll let the cat out of the bag. I'm trying to land Inigo for a podcast episode. So
hell yeah,
more to come.
Nice.
We're trying to figure that out right now. Trying to work the connection. My mom is like, you talk to his mom in the Instagram. I don't know what that Twitch is. I'm like, okay.
This is Twitch.
We'll figure it out.
This thing.
I'm like, just let Piolo know. I don't want Piolo. I want his son. So, because he's like, do you want to talk to Piolo? I said,
no,
maybe.
It's okay.
So
that's that.
2002.
Thank you. Like,
and that's how we are. That's how we became DJ. No, I'm just kidding.
That's how we're DJs today. Well, all right. So we knew coming maybe to this point that we might head into a part 2 of Volteezy and D Double. So what we want to do right now, I want to prepare you. There's going to be an episode 2. And episode 2 is going to be post this point and Subterranean and everything that happened with Def Tall DJs, Violator All-Star DJs, with Dean's List, them getting together doing their things, Voltaire rapping and becoming a DJ and all of that. We're going to move on part 2. We might have other guests with them. I don't know. We've been talking about that. So we are going to have part 2. So we're going to kind of transition from here and go into the next part. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for when we do that.
So we left off in 2002.
Yeah,
remember that. Take notes. No,
2002.
I know where we're
2002. 50. The incident happened in 2002. So 2002, guys. Just remember 02.
A little bit late.
Shout out.
So
I need to send a shout out to Running Hula Girl. Hi, Running Hula Girl.
Running Hula
By
Girl?
Hype Flower Girl.
Cookie champion.
Cookie champion.
Yeah, cookie champion. Yeah. Hell yeah.
all right, so we're gonna run into box messages. We have some for these.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. All right.
Here we go.
Let's see. Here we go. What the? Hold on.
Knock you out the box.
See, Dave is counting in 4s right now. Look at him.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3.
What up, man? It's your boy Chuck Righteous, a.k.a. Charlie Fresco. Definitely got to send a big shout out to D Double and Volteezy, two of the dopest Mickey Fickies on the planet. Shout out to HoyLuckClub. I love all of you guys, man. Keep doing you, and I'm going to keep doing me, man. Let's go.
Let's go, yeah.
Ya tu sabe.
Chuck
Righteous.
Chuck.
When Chuck says some shit, why does it sound like extra cool?
It always
It does, right?
It's so
It
gangster.
does.
Like
Yeah.
it's
Yo,
that like
I'm gonna say right now, hey Chuck Righteous, if you're hearing this right now, I'd love to have a drop.
For real. I mean, Jesus.
yeah,
I feel like if he ordered a meal for me, I wouldn't have to pay for anything.
It's winter chicken dinner. It's free.
Yo, we're gonna take the ribeye. Charlie Fresco is free, baby. Ya tu sabe. And then like the check comes as fucking 0. I'm like, yes, thank you.
All right, here's the second one.
Oh, hello. I'm looking for the DJ Wildcat. He's so handsome. I like how, his dad teach him how to feel it. Right, feel the turntable so good, and the DJing and the mixing.
Hey, what up, guys? It's DJ Ojimbo. Just messing with you guys. Just saying you guys, DFH, Talk From Home are doing great. Just want to drop a line. Talk to you guys soon. Later.
Yo, Jimbo.
Yo, Jimbo started Filipino and turned Korean.
I would have lost money. If you would ask me who the fuck that was, I would have been like,
I had no idea.
No, man. So I'm the one that has to screen the box messages, and I heard that, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this right now? Like talking, blah blah blah." And then he's like, "Nah, I'm kidding. It's Yo Jimbo." I'm like, "What? No way!"
Yeah, man,
Surprise!
It was 2 different Asian women. That was kind of
So we're gonna go into
maybe
moments.
there's a character next year.
Hey.
Yeah, where's Yo Jimbo's character?
Yeah.
Hey, I know
We'll
you're
see.
out
Maybe
there,
Yo Jimbo gets a character.
One of my notes.
So we're gonna go into moments, but before we do that, we do have a This Is Raffle.
hey,
This is raffle.
Raffle.
is it the sweater? Is it the sweater?
This is raffle.
This
This is raffle. This is raffle. What is the raffle? What is the raffle? What is the raffle?
DFH merch. DFH t-shirt.
DFH
Is
t-shirt.
a t-shirt.
Giving away a t-shirt.
DFH t-shirt. We are giving away a
All
DFH
Rice Bowl
t-shirt.
jerseys.
It's like game worn
Jersey.
rice bowl jerseys,
Unwashed.
unwashed.
Unwashed right
from
now.
2005.
I will put it in the
Smells
mail.
like Schiller Park and pool water
Like Schiller Park.
and fucking Jakar. That's what it smells like.
Grass.
Car.
Grass.
And grass.
And a little bit of
Oh,
milk.
Joey D. Wow, that's an old homie. Sorry. What's up, Joey
Joey.
D?
What up, Joey?
That's a Detroit connection. So Joey
Detroit,
D
the
and
real
Rama
name.
Rich.
Rama Ridge.
Yeah, we knew those guys from Detroit before Rama Rich became a big thing.
Still real.
Brahma.
All right, the raffle's going. You can get up to
DFH
5
blouse.
tickets this time.
Blouse.
So you can
Okay,
do
so-
exclamation point raffle space
And then a number 1 through 5. So you can do 5 tickets. It's 500 cheese fries or 500 channel points per ticket. So if you want 5 tickets, it's 2,500 cheese fries.
Wow.
If you need
So
to know how
exclamation
many cheese
point.
fries we have, do exclamation point points.
Ooh, we had Portillo's yesterday, by the way, and we ordered cheese fries.
Yes,
Oh, boy.
that's the move.
I believe JLA7 had
Yeah, I saw that.
Portillo's.
Yeah, he recently had
Yeah.
Portillo's. I saw that.
Buena
on
Park,
his,
the Buena Park
What day
location,
is it?
right?
on
Yeah,
his
that's
Instagram.
yesterday.
Instagram.
Yeah.
So let's talk about
Interwebs.
moments. Do you guys have any? I don't know. We'll start with Voltaire.
All
Do you have any
time.
moments from all time,
All
Dance
time.
from Home? Something that you remember that sticks out in your head.
All time. There's a few, right? I think number one, it was CJ Bucket's first stream, or this first stream I saw. I think that was his second stream, and this is where
Was
Mike.
it guitar?
Yes, it was guitar.
The guitar.
Okay.
That's That's a lot of
And then
people.
I think who Dave, you went after him?
Yeah.
I was talking shit to Dave the whole time. So like, so we're watching the set, then CJ comes on, right? I'm like, oh, CJ, I think I remember this guy from Buddha, right? So I was like, I'm watching. Okay. He's spinning. Then he's doing the finger banging, no pause, right? He's doing the drum beat, and then he pulls the guitar out. And he starts playing the guitar, and right away I was like, Dave, you're fucked. Like this guy's fucking killing
gotta
it. I'm
play.
like, Dave, you better like spin upside down, or I don't know what you're gonna do.
CJ
But-
was already killing it.
Yeah,
And then he busts out the guitar.
Then
And
he
it's
pulled the
like,
guitar out, and I
it's
was
like, all
forget
right,
it.
we're done.
It's over.
And
almost-
till today, I still give him shit because we talked about the day because it was Hammurabi, me, and CJ, and
Yep.
we had never Hammurabi and CJ had played together all the time back in the day. I never played with the two of them, and it was a first on Twitch. So I said, let's do something crazy, let's do something amazing. He texts me all cool. He's like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just gonna like spin or whatever. And I'm like, all right, man, whatever you want to do. And he comes out like busts out a guitar and whatever whatnot. I was like, yeah, thanks, bro. You just like pulled some Jordan shit on me, like
Modern day fucking Partridge Family.
right? Like it's crazy. Dopest set. Like that shit was amazing. So shout out to
So that would
CJ
that'd be
Buckets.
that would be my dopest DFH moment. I think, and then overall, I think Jay Bray's first set. So shout out to Jay Bray. When I'm
Those are
telling
running
you,
games.
I wanted to get in my car and drive down to the speedway and fight people. Like I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna drive down there and I'm gonna punch the first dude I see because he got me feeling that type of way. Like and we talked. I think you guys talked about it too. We talked about like EDM and how that's not my thing. But when I heard his set, EDM or not, just the energy and like I swear to God, like if my kids I would have drop kicked my kids. Luckily they were sleeping. But I would have dropped, at least the older one, I
it's
would have
drop
drop kicked him. The younger
At
one, I
least
might have just forearmed him. But
At least once.
And this, hey, let's be real here, and we'll probably get into this in the next episode. But Voltaire says, "Oh yeah, I don't really know EDM. I don't do EDM." Voltaire has had one of the fucking most fire EDM sets that I've ever heard on Dance from Home.
I mean,
Yes.
It's one of the most fire EDM sets I've heard on Dance from Home.
Was it his? That was like last month.
It was like
yeah,
Not
yeah,
that
it was
long.
recent. It was
40?
recent.
DFH 40, I think. Was the
Yeah, it wasn't that
afters.
long ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that shit was fire. That was
was
an
nervous.
EDM set that, like, I mean, we wouldn't have known. Like, I would have thought you spun EDM forever. Like, your whole
I was
life.
nervous. Although Virgil called it out. He's like, "You spin house like a hip hop DJ." Okay, I get it. You're right. I do. I don't let any songs ride for more than like a minute 20, and I'm
Yeah.
off to the next track.
Yeah.
But no, I was definitely nervous. I think when I signed up for that time slot, I almost didn't. It didn't register. It was afters. So I signed up for it.
Yeah.
So I signed up for it, and then I'm like, wait, I think they play fucking EDM around this time. Like,
I was a little surprised. I took over scheduling by that time. And
Yeah.
I was a little surprised. I was like, all right, Voltaire's doing afters. Maybe he'll just throw some hard hip hop on. I don't know. Like, whatever. That's cool. After hours is
Hard.
after hours, right? Like, just go hard, whatever. And then he, like, I was hoping, though, in the back of my head, I was like, I hope he does the EDM set. Like, maybe he will. Like, he's like me. Like, he'll adapt, right?
He's
Oh,
ready
you
for
did.
it. He's ready
You
for
came,
it.
you
man.
came hard. Pause.
Come on.
Pause.
Come on.
No pause.
And
Yeah,
then
that was dope.
All right.
And then he came back the next morning and streamed. What was it? Was it a slow jams?
Yeah,
It's like slow jams and R&B.
Complete opposite.
Yeah, I need to, you know.
And that was so good too. I was like,
Yeah,
wow.
it was a good time. Good time. Thank you. So I have to thank D Double, I guess, right? Because he taught me to spin. So all roads back to D Double.
All roads lead to D. D Double, what's your favorite moment, or anything that stands out in your head?
When I used to play ambient amongst everybody else.
DJ Ambient.
How about
there
that?
he is.
How about that?
Oh,
Also, how about
That
when
was for a while too.
That was a very long time.
that was
And
IG and then DFH.
Yeah.
And then DFH.
Yeah.
And then
Wow, he's
also,
still playing
when
Ambient.
I would self-raid myself because my phone's gonna die. How about that? That's what I'm talking about.
And his internet upgrade
And my
last month.
internet upgrade.
Last month.
That's
Your
my
internet
dream.
looks great now, by the
Yeah.
way.
Hey,
Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you, Spectrum. Thank you, Spectrum.
Good job.
Chris Brown. That's my number one.
Chris Brown is the first DJ to spin for Dance from Home.
The very
So
first set for DFH.
So
Yeah.
for me I freaked out because he's Death Tell St. Louis.
And it's Duff Talk.
So
Yeah.
all of a sudden I'm like, hey, who got this? Hey, where you been? I'm talking to
All
him, and
roads.
He snapped. And he snapped. This dude
All
snapped.
roads lead back to D Double. That's
Yeah,
what
man.
we say. All roads lead
There
back to
it
D
is.
Double. And the
Come
first
on.
Dance from Home person that spun was amazing. That was Chris Brown, not
Yeah.
the R&B singer, the DJ.
No.
And
There's like
he
no better way to kick it
killed
all
it.
off.
He killed it, right?
Like,
And
he
then
had
poor Jeff
overlays,
had to
he
go
an
next.
intro screen and everything, and all of us
Yeah.
were like, "Whoa!"
He had everything set. And we were like, what are those? How did he do that?
Yeah, like what's all that
Yeah.
stuff? Yeah, it was dope,
Yeah.
man. Like Chris Brown was awesome.
That was my pre-iRig. Pre-iRig, bro.
So what do we got? Do we have a raffle winners?
Yeah.
Is it still
Let's do
going?
it.
So nope, raffle ended. We have 31 participants, which is a good amount. All right. Again, Streamlabs. Blame Streamlabs if you win or lose. Here we go. And the winner is
The winner. Who is the winner?
Running Hula Girl is the winner.
Lucky.
The Hype Flower Girl wins again.
Has she won a previous raffle?
God,
No. She won the
she
cookie
won the
contest.
The cookie contest.
She won the cookie contest. That was skill and votes, and then this one is the random drawing.
That's
Can we
dope.
talk-
Congrats, Running Hula
Congrats.
Girl.
Get a
Yeah, make sure you hit
lotto
up
ticket.
Jeff, right? Jeff
Yeah.
will take care of it.
Yes. Whisper me.
Yep.
Whisper
Hit up
him
Jeff
in
so
the
you can
dark.
get the shirt size and address and all those things. So last weekend we had a dope lineup. It was like one of the, not every lineup's awesome, but this lineup was pretty amazing, and it was like nonstop 12 hours awesomeness. DJ Zell had her appearance with us for the first time. DFH, so awesome. She's HoyLuck, right? HoyLuck.
Yes, yes, sir.
Hoy
Yes,
luck.
sir.
She's Hoy.
Yeah, so she had a dope set, and her background.
Her
Awesome.
visuals,
Dude, her visuals were
killing, yeah.
dope. I want like
We were saying it. We're like, where the
Yeah.
fuck did this
Yeah.
come from all of a sudden? I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
called out who did that, right? Who did that?
Artist. RTSD from Chicago.
Yeah,
you might get some
Priya
work from your Dance
artist.
from Home fam.
No, not artist.
Not artist.
She's an artist.
It's artist.
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 Oh,
He's-
artist.
Yes, from Chicago. Turntablist from Chicago.
Okay,
Okay.
well,
Nice.
yeah, we want some of those visuals, so holler at us as the Dance from Home peeps. Flip Hop and Stashwell did a set this weekend.
I have a clip
That
of
was
this.
awesome.
Dude, play
I
the
have
clip.
a clip
Please,
re-
please
ready
be the
for
clip
this.
that I want to see.
Yeah, let's
Because
see it. Let's
this
see it.
is amazing.
Please play that clip.
They killed it.
Okay. Here it is.
Is this it?
The chair.
Stashwell hits him with the belt,
Yes.
Oh,
and then he does a power bomb.
Point to the camera.
Oh!
and this is here's the kibosh right here.
Fair and square, huh? Bake hop.
Out.
Huh? Take that. What's up, y'all? I don't think Flip Hop can continue his set. He seems a little out of it.
There you go.
So I guess I'll take over.
Here's the move. Here's the move right here.
Yep, nice.
Wow.
And
That was
then,
a good
then do you have the second half? With
I
the
don't.
Switch? Okay,
I
so
don't have
then
the Switch.
later, Flip Hop comes back on Stashwell's set and then does the same kind of shit. Like
Yeah.
he wrestles, he blasts him, takes his belt, changes the logo back to Flip Hop. It was so dope. Like they planned that perfect, and to do it in such a like long stretch of time, because Flip Hop did his set at like, what was it, 4:00, and then
It was
Stashwell.
early.
Yeah, Stashwell
He
didn't do his
was
set till 7:30.
Before me. Yeah, he was before
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, and so they waited that out, man. Like I don't know. I mean, I gave them time to pick whatever slots they wanted, but those are the two they wanted. So they waited that out. But for them to do that, that was dope. So mad love.
I knew
Imagine-
something was up when
imagine
I
being
saw
the,
the DFH like WWE logo.
Yeah. They had
Combo.
the custom logo.
Imagine being the third
Elusive, let's
roommate.
talk later.
If you were
We
the
might
third
need some new
roommate in your
DFH
crib,
logos.
I could not live with those guys. Those guys are fucking nuts.
Yeah, right. They're probably doing that
Yeah.
shit all the time. Like that's how dinner's decided.
It's their,
Um,
just how their day starts.
Right. My Chicago wedding DJ made his appearance
Yeah.
on DFH.
Yes.
That was a dope set.
Yeah.
Like
That-
awesome.
yes.
I don't know if he's listening, but mad love. Like really awesome set for that.
Welcome
Shout
to
out.
the fam.
Yeah, welcome
I
to
was
the fam.
I was the sandwich. I was the sandwich to all that.
You were the
Flip Hop,
sandwich to all that.
Maxwell, me,
We didn't-
and
we
then
didn't
my
forget about
Chicago
you.
wedding DJ. I was the sandwich.
We didn't forget about you. You know.
Oh no, you didn't have to.
No, you
I
know.
was the sandwich. I was
always-
comforted. I was comforted in the middle. I was comforted in the
It's
middle.
right in the middle. Very comfortable and warm. And shout out to DJ Elusive if he's still listening. He made the flyer for the 26th. It was our Christmas flyer. So mad love for that. Thank you, DJ Elusive, for all the help on
Yes,
the flyers.
Elusive.
I feel like I
Orchid.
gotta read his name louder because he went all caps. So like he
Elusive.
changed from
Hey,
Elusive
Elusive!
official to DJ Elusive. So I got
DJ Elusive!
yeah.
Orchid. Orchid.
I can't stop yelling. I love Lamp.
Is that the move? Do we have to all go caps now or what? Mike, you want to
Man.
go caps?
I
We
do
go
caps.
Let's go
when,
caps.
It's a challenge.
All caps, yep.
All
I'll
caps.
do caps. I'm getting old anyway. You might as well read
Do I
louder.
have to put an underscore under, like, between
No
Mike
vowels.
and
No
Rock?
vowels.
Oh, no vowels.
No vowels.
Shout out to JSWV Week of the Knees.
Squivenik. Squivenik.
Squivenik.
Squivenik.
Yeah.
Oh,
Squivenik.
man.
No cap.
No cap.
There.
No
No
vowels.
vowels in my name.
Yeah, no
Anybody else
vowels.
have anything
underscore.
from the weekend that they remember that they want to talk about? I think I covered most of it, I guess. Good to go. Okay, plugs. Let's start with Volteezy. What's up? What do you have coming up?
I do have something coming up. So I was added to a lineup. Shout out to DJ Menace, DJ Hursty. They reached out to me and put me on a lineup with a bunch of UK guys. So I don't know,
wow.
Art, if you got that flyer, we could pop
Yes,
it up
sir.
real quick. So this is the Love You Better Smart Cas J New Year's Eve stream. Obviously for England, it's 6 hours ahead. So I'll be spinning at 8:30 in the morning, doing this raid train. I do it to myself, right? Midnight
Prime time.
day,
Prime time.
8:30 in the morning. But I could not. I mean, it could have been, to be honest, and not blowing smoke up those guys' asses. It could have been 3 in the morning. I would have took it because
Yeah.
the UK. I think we didn't really touch upon the UK at all. Like having met that group, Elvin,
Yeah.
Menace, Jimbo, Dom C, Ray Domingo, like all those guys.
Mia Moore.
Those guys, Mia Moore, that different DJ, like all of these guys, they're all dope. They're all really cool, and they're all
Yes.
really like willing to collaborate. And so when they asked me to do it, I didn't even think about if I was doing anything. I might have like some engagement where I got to drop my kids off somewhere, and I'm like, kids, you're not going there. 'Cause I'm-
Yeah, you're like that's not
Sorry.
happening. So
yeah.
So sorry.
So so we're doing the new for New Year's Eve for
Hell yeah.
the UK. So that'll be 8:30 in the morning.
Thursday.
You know, obviously, U.S. guys, yeah, whatever. If you're gonna show up, that's fine.
Just have
but I'm pretty sure.
mimosas together.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah, do a little brunch action.
This is on Thursday, right? Yeah. New Year's Eve.
Thursday, 8:30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
8:30. And I do want to shout, not a plug, but more of a just a shout out to the HoyLuckClub. So we did the whole Make-A-Wish thing on Sunday.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
And yeah, we
Hey,
crushed our goal.
congrats on that.
Yeah, our goal was
Oh yeah, what was
1,000.
the total?
1,500.
Nice.
So it's good.
1,500.
We crushed the goal.
Excellent.
So I love it. Like I think now the trend and I hate to say trend, right? But we're all leveraging the platform for something bigger, which is I love it. I love that like we're all using our talent and our streams and our pull and our clout and whatever you want to call it to use it as a platform to provide for others that need providing. So that's big ups for everything there. And then I think other than that, I think we have our sort of central, I don't know how we're calling it, our TFH central DFH central region New Year's countdown with like all of the gangs in New York put together, like
It's pretty
the
I don't
All
know
Star.
what- We don't know what we're calling that at all, do we?
I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, we're just
We're-
throwing.
I mean, it was
terms out there.
Furious
The
Vision
United
to have like
Nations.
a worldwide kind of like countdown collaboration. So like, I think we figured the easiest way to do it was just split it all into regions.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
that's happening. That's obviously happening as well. So
Yeah, I
Is
think
there a
that's gonna
flyer
come on
for
that.
that?
We don't know exactly.
Not yet.
No,
Nothing.
we don't know. We don't have specifics at this moment. But we will very soon for the whole.
I mean, in short, basically between 6 p.m. Central and midnight Central, basically all the subgroups within the DFH fam, we're all collaborating. We're gonna have a couple DJs from each group DJing for around 50 minutes each, leading up to our central countdown for New Year's Eve. And then East Coast specifically countdown is covered by DJ Yoshi. And then we're going to cap it off with DFH and TFH right here. Kind of in this style, we're going to just kind of recap the year and count down to to midnight together to bring in 2021. So look forward to that. That's already, this Thursday? Holy crap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Thursday. I know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
3 days.
and then two more
Dave.
things. Sorry, I feel like I'm plugging the
Oh no,
world.
go.
I got two more.
No, keep plugging.
Go
Go.
ahead.
This is
Be on the
whole- this is
lookout
point.
for the Captain Narding Tita Junkie variety stream. You're gonna see it. So we're working on it now.
It's gonna happen.
It's there's a story here where
Yes.
it's called Totka, Totga,
Totka.
the one that got away.
The one
So it's-
that got away.
It's gonna
Totka.
be a backstory, and you're gonna find out the whole thing behind Tita Junkie and who Captain Narding is and that background. So you're gonna it's soon
Is
to
this
come.
like a
You guys got
It'll
like
be like a
Filipino
teleserie.
drama?
telenovela?
Yeah, you're gonna,
Teleseria?
yeah, it's gonna be a thing. So that'll
Whoa.
be on the lookout for that.
Cool,
And
cool,
then
cool.
I think that's all I got. Is that all I have? Yeah, I think that's all
You
I
said one. You said two.
I did. I know I had two, and because
He's
I was
asking
so.
how he got written out of this.
Oh, well,
You were in it,
Tito,
Kiwi?
Tito Q is
Tito
he's the
Q's
guy that puts it all together. So he's like
He's the glue.
he's the glue. He's the guy.
He's
that,
the
like,
rice. He's the rice that
Q, are you
sticks it
spoiling
together.
it? You spoiled the plot.
He's he definitely. I think he's definitely he did trailers. So he's doing the trailer.
Cool,
If you
cool.
haven't seen 360 trailer already, you saw the one that he did for 360.
Oh my
was
god, I
epic.
died.
Epic. So it'll be on along the lines of if you ever watch like Filipino movies and you get that intro. Everyone, close your eyes for a second. Regal Films, in conjunction with Viva Films, presents Tita Junkie, Captain Narding in Totka. See that, and you're gonna get that.
That was really good. I'll close my
so
eyes
good.
for the entire
Picturing
show.
like kind of
rest
the
show.
the white like transition scenes and
Yeah, it's like fading in and out.
Yeah.
Fade
and-
So
white.
dope.
Yes. So
Fade
that is
white.
QB the artist.
That's a
QB the
Filipino.
artist is
Lug
like
lug.
the mastermind behind all of that. So
Cool.
yeah, I don't remember the last one, so I'll skip. It's fine. I'm sure I'll be able to plug it some other time.
It'll
So
come.
Yeah,
It
you.
shall
looking to
come.
double.
Sometimes he's just two panes passing at this guy. Two
Totka.
planes.
Like a window pane? What kind of pane is that? An
Two.
ouch
I think
pane?
two planes.
Ouch.
It's a plane.
Two planes.
That's a plane.
Planes.
Two planes.
D double.
Battle
Dave, what do you got
Tuesday.
coming up?
What's going on? Wednesday, we have Word Up Wednesdays. I don't know what time I'm on because we haven't scheduled anything, but we're going to have it. Thursday, we have our New Year's thing. I am part of the West Coast representation. I'm with Furious and Rage, so we'll be bringing up the rear.
Hey.
Pause.
Pause. For New Year's, and that would be Thursday. Friday, most likely, is Furious Fridays, and Saturdays would be Club X and DFH. So,
Nice.
that's it. And Sundays, Sampai Sundays. Make sure you
Sampai
clean your
Sunday.
body and Sampai your Sunday. Thank you.
Raph, what do you got coming up?
Hi.
Thank you, Dave.
Well, on Wednesday, Xtina is having her Elfster holiday party.
Let's hold on that.
Nope.
Pause?
Okay. We are pausing.
Yeah, go to other things.
There are no other things.
I feel like I'm waiting for Raph to do the dance. She's like, hey.
I'm off this week. So
You're off this week for
Nice
Talk from Home.
doing-
well,
Okay.
it's New Year's, so I was just gonna
Okay.
live my life, but we'll see. I might
I
come.
know,
Like-
now
I'm
I
sorry,
remember.
we had one more to add too. I
I
don't know if
remember-
you remember. Did you remember
I
the same
remember.
thing
I
I did?
remember now. Yes.
Yeah,
Tarantado.
Tuesday.
And tomorrow, of course.
Tarantado Tuesday.
Tomorrow, Tarantado Tuesdays, and then we're obviously raiding into the Hoy Scratch sessions. We have
And we have
Earwax.
Earwax.
Nice.
Earwax is
Yep.
coming through to cut it up.
That's
So,
gonna be a good one.
Oh, I love
you
you.
know, all of our table, like it's getting a lot of steam. It's gathering a lot of steam. The whole like tableist movement, and it's good to see other tableists around the in the community sort of getting together and shitting on my scratching. So
Yeah, wait till me and Voltaire get on there.
Yeah, you
and you'll
wait.
see. Ooh, just wait.
Ooh,
You
I
just wait.
can't.
It's gonna be a talk show.
yeah, we're gonna just do
Not a
scratch
scratch show.
movements.
Just
When you're in there, Dave, just let me know. I
Yes,
hope
and
you
I'll
have
borrow
the
the mixer?
mixer.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you just go like this.
the line in,
Yeah.
the line
Tick,
in.
tick, 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 tick.
All day.
And congrats, Vernimal. That's right. Affiliate.
Burn. Affiliate
Congrats,
already.
Vernimal.
Look at
Are there
you,
any more
Burn.
Magacinos? Are there any left? I mean,
I think there's
Only-
one more.
Only
Yeah,
the
Vic.
special
There's one more Maxino
Only-
that
There's
Only the
Vic.
special one.
Vic.
Yeah.
Voltaire.
I played
we don't-
golf with Vic. Yeah,
We don't
so there's the
consider
fifth.
Vic. We don't consider Vic one.
oh yeah. He's like, yeah.
He's too
Oh
cool.
my
He's too
God.
cool.
He's too cool for
Too
Twitch.
cool.
School.
Too cool. Wildcat, what do you got?
So
Wait,
when
Wildcat doesn't have any vowels in his name.
Yeah.
Yes, I removed
How long
it.
has that been?
Same thing with D double. That's when we talked about removing the vowels from our
Man,
name.
we were the ones. Voltaire and I were the ones talking
You
about
know,
it. and
I
we
can't
didn't
do
even
mine.
Yeah, we
because-
talked about it, and then I just did it right then.
I need
I
to
can't
know.
do
It
mine
was
like
like a
that.
few minutes ago.
It won't make any sense.
No, I won't. Mine won't either.
Try it.
Try it.
Mine is not
Try it.
gonna make any sense.
VLTZ
Did they even change my name?
Y.
I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna replace
K
them
and
with V's.
W.
Look at that. Look at this. Look at that.
Yes, yeah.
What is
That
that?
looks.
What did
That looks cool.
Well, you have
Yeah.
two. Why do you have two? Why do you have
Why
two
do you have
V's?
two V's?
Because there's two E's.
Oh.
Oh, I can make an. hold on.
Oh.
Let me
Yeah.
do this again.
That
Must
looks
be.
like Volkswagen.
I know. What is that?
Tosisi no. Volkswagen
It looks like
Tosisi no.
I got hit with a tranquilizer dart trying to read my
There you
name.
go. There you go.
You just replace every vowel with a V. Is that the rule?
Here's elusive.
Yes.
L.
Listen.
I feel like that's like Roman numerals for like a lot.
Super Bowl LLSG.
I even added the underscore in there too.
Yeah, you did. You put the underscore there. So dope.
Oh, mine looks like rough. So,
This is thus rough. Thus versus rough.
It says Vuvuzela or whatever. It's fine.
Vuvuzela nos.
See, mine just doesn't work. I'm trying to like figure out. Okay, so what do I do?
How to change your name?
Well, I know how to change it, but like,
Oh,
It's the Mick Rock.
MK RCK.
I get no V's.
you can add a V.
You can add a V for the A. MKRCKA
CKV.
Mike Rocca.
Mickey Rick.
Yeah.
Oh, I need an underscore too.
Mick Ricka.
All right, underscore.
Yeah, with the underscore.
There.
There.
There you go.
There,
Stuff a lot
there.
of time for this, guys.
It's like
Sorry,
Mortal
we just
Kombat
were so.
Rocky.
It was the coolest thing. Like we had to change all of that. We didn't do it earlier, obviously.
Yeah. I
right.
think
Wildcat.
So usually Wednesdays I have Wild Wednesdays. I don't think I'm going to have Wild Wednesday this week due to an upcoming event that's going to happen on Wednesday evening.
Hey.
Thursday, I'm going to be involved in the Talk from Home portion, as well as some. I'm going to be involved in the Talk from Home portion of the New Year's Eve part, and then Friday, Freaky Friday, is going to be the first Freaky Friday of the year. So we're gonna get freaky as hell, and be on the lookout for that for the lineup for Friday.
Dope. Thank you,
Shout out
sir.
Rihanna, bro.
Oh, and also
Rihanna,
I will
bro.
be on Saturday. I will be on Saturday for DFH, baby.
DFH.
Oh, I
Nice.
think. are we on Saturday? I think we're on
Can you
We
pull up
are.
the
We're
flyer
on.
for Wednesday?
We're on.
So
That's
Wednesday, we are doing a special edition of Nightcap, which is a combination of Nightcap and the Dance from Home Santa Xtina's Gift Exchange. So we're going to do both at one time. We're going to have DJ Yo Jimbo and DJ Rex be our DJs for the evening. Yeah. So we're going to have them spinning while we're opening gifts. They'll be announcing who's going to open their next gift, and we'll do that for a few hours on Wednesday night. So make sure you guys tune in for that. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Xtina is going to put out more information in the the Dance from Home fam chat on what the participants need to do. So we'll be in touch with you in regards to what's happening there. So make sure you guys tune in on Wednesday night, 7 o'clock on Xtina's channel. So it's on twitch.tv/X_Tina. So tune in for that. See some gifts open. Hear some dope music. It'll be a dope night. Stay tuned.
Dope.
Dope. Jeff, what do we got coming up?
TFH 47.
Hey.
Here we go.
Whoa.
47.
Here's the lineup drop. It is J-Man's birthday.
Hey.
Oh, happy birthday to J-Man. He's going to have his DFH debut on the pre-show.
The young genius.
Whoa.
The
This is
Day
MC2J man?
at
This is
MC2J Man. This is
10:30 a.m.
DJ McLovin.
Wow.
Would it be weird if I said inserts J-Man's emotes here? Hold on.
Insert J-Man.
Insert.
Insert J-Man.
Insert
emotes here.
J-Man. Insert
I had to do it. I had to do
MC2J
it.
Man
I had to do it.
emote.
I had to do it. Shout out J-Man. That's the guy.
And then Furious, who usually does the pre-show, will actually take over the last part of the pre-show and the first set. Artie is back. We got Zero, Roman Salazar, Total Encore, Mikey Jukes, K Bonix from the Hoy, Andrew Abandrew. Volteezy is on the lineup as well.
Ooh,
Yes.
Let's go.
Right next to this
Oh,
guy.
yes.
Back to
Back to
back.
back. Jayla 7.
Oh, just last Saturday.
He has not done the set for like months, dude. It's been
Yeah.
months. We're excited.
I don't think he's done a set since like way before his wedding too.
Yeah.
Jamie
like
doesn't
July.
know you're doing a set. Volt.
She's like,
Jamie, you are.
yeah,
on
and,
Saturday?
stop the camera.
We had plans. We had plans.
Quick Tastics on the bill. Mike Rocca is back on. Effect out of Vegas, Knology, Vince Maxino, and capping it off, which is this Club X set
at
too.
midnight.
Mike?
There it is.
Yeah, that's
Brothers.
The
That's
Ugly
over.
Baby Brothers
Ugly
Keeper
Baby
set.
set with
Wow.
Brothers Keeper.
Yeah, ugly baby set for
Oh.
Brothers
Cute.
Keeper. It's a good night.
Lovely.
That's a nice
So we're
line.
looking forward to see you guys, seeing you there. So before we go, I do want to say something real quick. Since we're gonna have an episode 2, I want to do something a little different for Voltaire. I have questions for D Double and Voltaire.
Uh-oh.
Hit me up in Discord and send me the questions,
Yeah.
regardless on what the question is.
Yeah.
I promise I'll ask it. So send the questions. The next episode, I'll make sure that I put those in and we ask those questions to get them out from the DFH fam. So send them over. Let's get down to the nitty gritty with them on the next
Let's
episode.
go.
The answer is at tops 8 minutes.
Yeah. So before we go, I do want to have the two of them.
I'm old.
I want to have the two of them announce the next guest for next week. That's going to be the first
Yes.
guest of 2021. We've got
First guest.
first guest 2021. If you guys want to announce that, bring it up.
I'm
Okay.
drum rolling, bro. I'm drum rolling.
Should we do it in Captain Nardane? Captain Nardane?
Nardane.
Announce it?
You
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, Captain
Close
Nardane.
your eyes, everybody.
Everyone has to close your eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain, Captain Nardane speaking. Flight 143-5254, Philippine Airlines. I'd like to say shout out to the next guest on a Talking From Home. Mr. and Mrs. Time to show me the money show time.
Damn it.
Give it up. Palakpakan. Palakpakan.
One
All
time.
right.
First guest of 2021. We're excited.
Opening up. It's showtime.
It's showtime.
With the
Opening up.
showtimes.
God, Showtime is everywhere.
Time.
He's
That guy
everywhere.
has he's
So
on a
many
raid train that hasn't
raid
stopped
trains.
moving.
No.
It's still
It
raining.
just continues.
Not
He just
still
comes
raining.
back on. He just
raining
comes
right
back
now.
in the morning every 24
He's
hours.
raiding, bro. He's raiding. He's
It's
raiding
like an
right now.
old
He's
Atari
really big.
game where you go through the right side of the screen, you come out the left.
Yeah. Pac-Man.
It just keeps going.
He's
He just
He's
keeps coming
Pac-Man.
around over and over again. Well, all right. So there's going to be episode 2. Guys, thank you so much for joining us, man. Like, for real.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks for having
Yes.
us.
Appreciate you guys. That was a really dope episode.
V double.
V-double.
I just
That's how we do it.
Voltaire's name in
Yeah,
StreamYard.
the V-double.
Blueberries. Shout out.
Yeah, thank you
Blueberries.
guys for being
Blueberries.
here. and
Shout
talking to
out.
us. What up, Blueberries? So we are
Show
going
Miss
to
JB.
raid over to Mukbang from Home, which is a new
Hey.
From Home series that we
Time to
had
eat.
recently,
Yeah.
hosted by Xtina herself. So we're raiding over there. Make sure you guys don't go nowhere. Come back next week for DJ Showtime and Mrs. Showtime for the first show of 2021. Make sure
yeah.
you come and tune in. We're going to be here same time, same bat channel, 7:30 p.m. CST on Dance From Home DJs. Come through, hang out with us, and have a good time.
And if you're
Thank you,
if
guys.
you're not following D Double and VolteezyKnows, their dynamic follow buttons are up at the top of the screen. So
Bam.
yes,
Yeah.
go ahead and
Make
click
sure you
them through.
follow them. Click, 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 click.
Watch
Yeah.
The Crown on Netflix. Watch The Crown.
Hey.
Oh, The Crown's
Facilitate-
dope.
facilitate,
And
man.
Queen's Gambit. Watch Queen's Gambit on
Queen's
Netflix.
Gambit's
Yeah.
good.
We're just
Definitely
talking
watch
about
that. Definitely watch
Queen's
that.
Gambit.
Next episode, we're gonna hear all about my backdrop too.
Yep,
Sub-T.
we'll hear about
Oh,
Hey,
that.
that's right.
that
We didn't even
backdrop.
get there.
That's where we're starting. We're
We
probably
did it.
going to get
Go.
to that next episode. So, yeah, make sure you guys stay for the raid. We're going over to Xtina with Mukbang from Home, MFH. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, stay for the raid.
Stay for the raid. Stay for the raid. Stay for the raid. Stay for the raid.
Stay for the raid. Stay for the raid. Stay for the raid. Stay for the raid. Stay for the raid. Stay for the raid. Stay for the raid. Stay for the raid. Say,
Raid.
hey,
Raid. Raid.
Raid.
Raid.
Raid.
Raid.